Ethan's been watching us since day one. Literally, me and Bob, since the first time we streamed together. So he's like maybe seen that, you know, these guys are gonna keep coming at me. I don't know.
And then drama just dropped, by the way, while we're sitting here. Between Critical Drinker and your boy Zach, now they're fighting. So
oh shit, that's awesome. I love it.
It's Review Tuesday, which means you've had 6 days to gauge what your audience will allow you to say. He's talking about Critical Drinker. If you would just review shows as soon as they came out, like every other critic on the planet, that would make you seem more like an actual critic than a consensus aggregator. Or
but see what he said about fucking RPG character creation stuff?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
And then it goes on here to say, Critical Drinker responds with, or maybe, you know, I actually have a life outside of YouTube. You live on YouTube, dude. Don't even try it.
Yeah.
I have a life outside of YouTube. Was away all weekend and only got back in time to watch and review the show yesterday. Seriously, dude, whatever hate boner you're maintaining here, just rub one out and get over it. That's real ironic coming from Critical Drinker. And then over here, Ethan says, seems like Zach hit a nerve, for fuck's sake, man. And then here, Clown's angry. They really can't handle criticism. And then he shows here, this absolute loser has been grifting off. Yeah, but watch this. He gets even better. This absolute loser has been grifting off my name and making videos seething about me for months now. I don't know if he's jealous because his own channel is dying or just fucked up in his head. Either way, it's pathetic to watch.
Oh my God.
And then Jeremy says, they push negativity and hate to their audience. They waited to see what the audience said before giving it a positive review. And then Ethan says, Jeremy, you love The Last Jedi and Ryan Johnson until one day, for some reason, you hated them both. You admitted on FNT that you guys find one little negative half news story and make 19 videos about it. Don't gaslight me, brah.
Oh
dude,
my
did we
God.
did we de-radicalize Ethan with our fucking
what's funny is those two stories are stories that we talk about all the time. Like, we bring it up on here all the time. So
God damn, fucking high five, gentlemen. I think we had something to do with this.
Jesus.
I don't know why, but that drama just hyped my day. Like, I'm gonna go into work with such a hype behind me, because honestly, like we've been doing this for a minute. And to see that some people are starting to understand that the grifting is happening and it's happening in their own backyard is pretty exciting.
It's like we've been right for a while.
Story.
Holy shit.
You assholes.
I've got a collection of what I feel like are some of the best moments that various grifters just revealing the grift or revealing that they are full of shit or whatever. And I'm curious. I'm sure you've seen a couple of
my favorite genre.
It really is a good one. I know you used one in your video with the that was the one that prompted me to do this. And so I started kind of thinking, what other clips do I know of where they just say something? It's like, come on, man, how do you not see that this is a grift?
That is Jeremy Griggs, the man behind Geeks and Gamers, who is, incidentally, the only one of these guys to have a shred of self-awareness.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
He's a former Padawan who could put out sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Fires in the vacuum of space. Fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space.
The fact that there's so many videos and so many people that are just like, they stole her ass, you know, where's her cakes and shit like that. Like, and then you look, you just think about it for like a second. It's like, wait a second, this show was on for 5 seasons. it's the one image that we're constantly seeing, right? So that's the shot from the show.
That's
So it's not even like her like being sexy or anything. It's her facing down Apocalypse
in a vulnerable spot, to be sure. But yeah, let's see the context in the show.
You're cut out like all the others. You must be exterminated.
So why is it this one shot that's being, used?
Yeah, surely they could find a shot of her butt, like just like not being attacked by a super
I
powered
did
villain.
some looking, I did some digging, and I've got right here just kind of like the best shots from the show. If you want to look, you can go look. There's clips on YouTube. You can try to find me a single other fucking shot in X-Men the Animated Series with her butt looking like this. Because guess what it looks like every other time.
I never thought I'd see this place again. Looks like the doc's doing a little.
It's just like what it looks like in the new image.
Don't get a mover. Come
And,
on.
flat butt. Flat butt.
Freak.
You're destroying my child.
Whatever you say, sugar.
Lenore's on. Flat butt. Look at that flat butt. Why are we objectifying a fucking cartoon in the first place is really the question.
Yeah, it's weird that like to prove how silly these arguments are that we have to sit here and be like, look, a flat butt on like a fucking cartoon character and just like zoom in.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
I mean, I recognize
there's a
how
reason
absurd
for
it was when I was doing it, but yeah.
Yeah, like there's a reason for it.
Yeah, this X-Men 97 stuff from top to bottom shows like the entirety of the grift, right? Like you've got missing cakes, right? Which is not a thing that matters and shouldn't matter because it's not like she was known for her ass in the show. There's that one shot that's become a meme in the last decade.
Have a million spider folk, which doesn't even make sense when you consider Peter's origin.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
Talking about Peter Darker.
Fun fact, Eric used to like the character, even saying he's more than just a black Peter Parker, but he changed his tune when he found out he could make more money pandering to racist comic book fans who hate Miles Morales.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Did you used to like him? Not judging or whatever, just curious.
No.
Do you like Miles Morales then?
No.
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Talking about Peter Darker.
But Miles is an exception, make no mistake.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
And it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Dope as fuck.
Hello, 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 hello. Surprise, we're on.
I'm busy.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I'm busy. I'm busy.
Sorry. I finished my sandwich, so I figured if I'm finished doing what I was doing, then everybody else should be ready too.
Sure, that's how the universe works.
The universe revolves around Dane. Everybody
Naturally,
knows.
yes, everybody knows that.
It's false. No way. Not this time. It's totally me.
So the universe revolves around you. So why do you elect Trump, bro?
I don't understand it.
I was told that I don't do enough drops anymore, and I felt like that was a challenge.
I feel like you're dodging the question.
Fair enough.
How's everybody doing?
All right. I got back from my. Hey, look. Oh, look. He wants to make an early
real
appearance.
stars here.
Early appearance from. Is it Elam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, quick cameo appearance.
Yeah. What the hell, indeed. It is quite an atrocity. It is quite insulting, especially once you hear what the quote unquote creator claims about it. You know, like it's some kind of artistic endeavor. But really, the question is, so her name's Tilly Norwood, and as you know, you might see depending on which channel you're looking at. The real question is, does she demand to see the Epstein files?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she should. I mean,
and it's also like if you're on my channel, you'll see that Marvel has announced and they're finalized 2026 release slate of releases, but that doesn't seem to include the Epstein files.
Right?
The fuck? No.
So, yeah. Not sure. And are the Saudis and Jared Kushner, whenever they buy EA games, does that include releasing the Epstein files? I don't think so.
Or how about the comics that are going to Saudi Arabia to perform?
No, but
coming out.
Mike, Mr. Mike is trying to prevent the one vote that would release the Epstein files, which is why he won't swear this person in. All of this stuff they're doing right now is to prevent that from happening.
It's so McConnellistic in nature. McConnell blocking judges and Supreme Court.
They don't want these. Look, if there was any time to prove that they don't want the files to come out, they're willing to shut down the government to prevent this person from getting sworn in, so that they could get the files released.
We're going to talk about fan stuff for sure, but like this matters, and let's be clear whose fault this government shutdown is. It is 100% on Republicans.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Anybody that tries to equivocate or give you some other alternate explanation for it is fucking full of shit, or they don't know what they're talking about.
All the goggly goop word salad they want to give you doesn't mean anything. The Republicans they control all of the elements of the government that would allow them to keep it open.
So I learned like about the kind of the origins of the government shutdown as a political tactic, by the way.
Yes.
It's only been around since the 80s. And like it basically was a bad faith maneuver when it was introduced by Republicans. That's not to say it has always been just Republicans' fault. I don't think that's accurate. I think there's been probably times when Democrats probably could have done something else to had the power or whatever. But I will point out that Biden avoided shutdown 13 times. So does that mean that he was a stronger president?
Yeah,
I'll just say yes. Yeah. As much as I'm not a fan of Biden.
I mean, Trump's gone on record saying that government shutdown is the fault of the president. That's on record.
That's
so,
true.
By the way, and I know you just mentioned a second ago, but the reason why it didn't exist before is if you didn't meet the deadline, things would not change. They would just go on as they are until you actually change things. Meaning
it was a manipulation, kind of a twisting of the way things were written out in some I don't know, some aspect of government. I don't remember exactly the details, but it's basically just a bad faith interpretation of things as the way they were. And I guess it's something we got to deal with now, which is awesome, because guess what? Other democracies don't do that.
But they don't just randomly shut down the government just for political points. Well, listen, I think it's worth saying they do this, and usually the people who suffer are the actual employees, which is frustrating. But at the same time, they also need the Democrats need to leverage some power here. I mean, you can't just capitulate to whatever fucking Trump wants. And that was one of the bright spots of Jimmy Kimmel, to be honest. Jimmy Kimmel kind of showed there's limits to what Trump can get away with. There will be pushback after a moment. So, I mean,
I agree. Trump is really nad. I know you corrected that here a second, but I like it better like this. He's just a nad.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
especially in that one side of him is hanging lower than the other side now. You know what I mean?
Which means you're healthy.
I don't think it means that when it's your face.
And historically,
resting half your face.
Historically, government shutdowns always reflect more poorly on whichever party is in power at the time, in control at the time.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who's actually at fault. Usually, whoever is in power is the one that gets blamed for the government shutdown.
And there's also a lot of I guess some garbage about just completely cutting trans people off from any health care included in the Republicans' idea of funding the government, which, surprise, surprise, they just continue to make trans people, the one of the smallest minorities that there is in the world and in the country, somehow are the most sinister and omnipresent evil force. No. Do you guys see that thing about that guy that he put out a TikTok or whatever, and he was like, Mike Johnson, if you don't,
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
He's in hiding right now, apparently.
Yeah, he said he's. I mean,
he's a lawyer. He's passed information off to actual, like, what did he say? News outlets or something. Anyway, he's not the only person in possession of the information, and the stipulation is if anything happens to him, that information gets released immediately. So
he claims to have Mike Johnson's Grindr profile, which can be fake. There's actually already some faked messages, and including a picture that he supposedly sent that looks pretty fake to me.
Which, by the way, he said that's why he said IP address, though. I think he's trying to legitimize it by saying he knows the IP address.
That's the thing. You need to have that IP address to even begin to be taken. Now, of course, this is a MAGA guy. He's going to lie his ass off no matter what and deny it. Yeah.
I would have just released it. That's what I would have done, because instead of like saying, "Hey, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to release it," just release it. That's what I would have. I would have said, "Okay, you're a piece of shit. Here's why." Because that would have been another scandal they would have had to deal with. But now you've tried to do it the other way around, and you're on the run, and now it won't get released probably. So
yep.
Yeah, we see you, Jeannie. We see you. We know. No.
Fuck it. Totally. I'm on that dark woke shit, whatever it's called now.
That dark woke shit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, we do need to. Dead Domain was talking about this last night, on her stream and their stream rather, and like, you don't need to break your own ethics in order to not put up with their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like there's a line to walk there where you can be kind of ruthless with these motherfuckers and still not actually be breaking any of your, ethical or moral boundaries, right?
I mean, like my opinion on Chris Gore. People were trying to say that was going against my ethics or my logical feelings about cancel culture because he was not allowed to have a booth at LA Comic-Con for the second year in a row. And
this is a guy who gave a funeral he did a eulogy for Star Wars several years ago, and talked like the franchise is dead, and yet has continued to shit on it and be bad faith about everything. For like, no, eventually people are going to notice that.
Well, I told him, I said, it doesn't break my logic because I'm not saying I'm going to advocate for people. Like I will not cheer it on or attempt to do that. I'm not somebody that's looking to cancel anybody. I don't really have the power to cancel anybody, but
no,
that's not the argument that I was making. When I'm talking about cancel culture, I am against cancel culture without any sort of accountability attached to it, where people can make changes for the better. But in this situation, I'm not going to advocate for Chris Gore because he cheered on Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
So
many other reasons, but that's the most recent, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, and like he made several videos about it. So my logic is consistent. It's not that I'm saying I'm happy that he wasn't allowed at Comic-Con in LA. Like, I'm not cheering it on. I'm making videos going, yeah, great. They're not doing whatever. I don't give a fuck one way or the other. But the point is, I'm not going to advocate for him. Like, I'm not going to be out here saying, oh, that you shouldn't do that, whatever. This is completely different. He even went on, he did a video where he said, I guess I'm like Jimmy Kimmel, or I'm not like Jimmy Kimmel, or whatever it was. There's no comparison really in that regard, because Jimmy Kimmel actually was government censorship. LA Comic-Con choosing not to have you there is their choice, bro. They don't want you there. Like, they don't have to give you anything. You're not, you are not entitled to a panel.
Nope.
So stupid.
Mm-hmm. Nobody is.
Nobody's
and then Anna, that Star Wars girl, went to a queer panel and filmed them to make fun of them on the internet.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's the exact type of behavior why they won't. Why if you're associating people like that, they probably won't hear. I pulled up. This is not LA Comic-Con.
I was about to grab that exact thing. You got it already.
Cincinnati Comic Expo press application. I went directly to it. Websites deemed offensive or antagonistic towards our fandom, guests, or events will not be approved. and this is just again for a press pass. I get regularly approved. I don't think a lot of these people do. Because
well, the thing was, he said in his video, he made like a 30-minute cope session video about this, but he was like, oh, everything I did was in line with what they're supposed to do for their panels. Okay, great. Everybody that submits for a panel should be in line with their policies, because that's why their policies are there. But that's not why they're not allowing you to come to their convention and put a panel up. There's something else going on, most likely related to this situation that you're showing on the screen right now, that Chris Gore is not being transparent about, because he probably knows the reason why. I'm sure, 100% sure that Chris Gore knows why LA Comic-Con doesn't want him to have a panel there. But in order to not make himself look bad, he doesn't want to say anything publicly about it.
In coordination with that, kind of branching off of that, if I may, Bob, share image.
Go for it.
So this is Gary shutting out Nerdrotic for the second year in a row, is being welcome at LACon, blah blah blah. You know, and then he goes on to say, bad enough, you're exploiting Stan Lee with an abomination AI version. Okay, this is the guy
that was
who
gross.
just a few months ago, in case you forget, just a few months ago was fucking full throat endorsing, pushing his buddy's documentary that used footage that was withheld for years that could have possibly been used to rescue Stan Lee from an exploitative, abusive situation in the last few years of his life, but wasn't, because this fucking guy held on to it. And it was so universally roundly rejected as disgusting and exploitative that didn't even get fucking funded, okay, on Kickstarter or whatever. And now Gary's going to appeal to exploiting Stan Lee. I mean, we can argue about whether it's disgusting or not to, use the AI thing of Stan Lee. I think it's kind of gross. Sure. It's nothing compared to what he was pushing with that documentary. Nothing. It is fucking, in fact, I saw somebody making an argument that, if it's one thing to kind of think about Stan Lee as he's gone and rose colored glasses and like, oh, he probably would have liked the AI thing. He was kind of a huckster, and I mean that with all the love and, that I have for Stan Lee. He probably would have been cool with it. But nonetheless, it's nothing compared to that fucking documentary that actually exploited Stan Lee while he was alive.
Yeah.
Right.
I also want to point out, I probably wouldn't have even gave a shit about this. Like, I would have scrolled right past this if it wasn't for the fact that in opposition to Chris Gore not getting a panel, they went through and harassed panels from queer people.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we doing that? There's a lot of panels at these conventions that don't fill the rooms up, because that's their argument. Yeah. Oh, well, these panels won't fill rooms up. There's a lot of panels that don't fill rooms up, but you're not going panel to panel and doing head counts. You just decided to attack queer people.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what I thought when I first saw that post of a Star Wars girl with the several different panel titles and stuff. I was like, that kind of, especially in this climate, reeks a bit like targeting to me.
Well, that's what I said. It was irresponsible in my video about it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Chris Gore can say, "Oh, I'm following all the rules." I already brought up the one rule he's missing that he absolutely is not following.
Right.
In Star Wars, like having someone like Star Wars Girl on there, and how she's specifically targeting some of these panels, and how she's going to some of these panels just to make fun of them. That's exactly the type of shit LA Comic-Con is trying to avoid.
And the thing is that Chris Gore had so Chris Gore normally does a show with him, and I think his name is Andy, the other guy that streams with him.
Yeah,
they normally do their film threat streams, and they talk about whatever. He had a stream, the clip that I looked at the other day, with like 6 other people on it. 2 of them were this guy named Dante, and then obviously Anna that were on there. He specifically had them on there to make fun of all the queer panels that they went in to harass people in by filming them. So he had them on there, but then at the same time, he's like, I think there should have been more gay panels. I think they should be more gay at LA Comic-Con. Give us more gay panels and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, you can't say that and then platform homophobic and transphobic people
this is
on
a guy
your stream.
Who said that years ago, whenever, we first started doing podcasts together, me and Bob and Turf, covered when he said that Disney Plus should just have its own separate platform called Disney Sparkle and put all the gay shit on that.
However, Dane, he said in his video that he doesn't think that gay stuff should be separated. He goes, instead of calling it queer something, just make it whatever it is, and then just have gay people there. So the logic isn't even consistent. It's not even consistent across that, because he was saying in that thing that he wanted like a separate Disney app for gay stuff, but then at the convention stuff, he's like, we don't need a separate gay thing. Just put him in with everybody else. So the logic is not even a consistent
here's
stance on it.
Here's the thing. We could get a press pass or even a panel, I'm sure, if we really wanted to, if we felt like it was warranted, So I mean, jealous of Chris Gordon? No, not really.
But that's also a thought terminating. Like that comment means nothing. Like, what does that even mean? Somebody can be jealous of someone and still be critical of them. So even if we were jealous, it doesn't matter. What we're saying is the truth. So that's a Cope comment from a sock account.
Yeah.
Who has nothing better to do than sit on our stream and say that we're jealous of somebody else while you're here shilling for somebody that wouldn't even let you lick their balls.
And misuse hashtags.
Yeah, it's like we're pathetic losers, but that you're on our stream just to badger us. Like,
the same thing when Anna said, all these gay panels are worthless, a waste of time, and then you spend time going to them.
Mm-hmm.
If they're worthless and they're a waste of time, then ignore them and go to something else. You said there was so much happening at LA Comic-Con that having these panels was pointless because there's so many other things going on. But then you spend your time going to those panels, missing out on stuff that you supposedly like, which goes to show me that you went there specifically to get the video clip so you could share it on social media and harass people.
I don't know how often people go to conventions. I do about 3 a year. Typically, there's one gigantic panel room, and then there's like 4 or 5 other smaller rooms throughout the convention. The giant panel rooms usually reserved for celebrities and their panels. You can go ask them whatever you want. And then you have, like, sometimes celebrities will get smaller panel rooms, but that's less often. But a lot of times it'll be like the fan stuff. You have cosplay stuff. It'll just be kind of stuff people come up with that, think that the Comic-Con thinks will contribute to the environment. They'll give them a panel room, typically, if they have the space.
You want to see some cringe right here? This is Cope right here. There's several comments underneath that Nerdrotic post like this. So what you're saying is it's time for the Nerdrotic Comic-Con. Think about it. You and that Chris Gore at the helm. Bring in Zachary Levi to promote his new studio. Indie films plus indie comics, the whole non-woke YouTube Rumble ecosystem. Loop in folks like Benny Johnson. Got to have the gay
Russian
representation.
asset, yeah. We'll get Putin as our main guest.
Right. Snarky J gets tagged in there just for a good measure. And it's like, dude.
But wait, Snarky J's not a grifter, right? I mean, that's what we get told all the time.
Yeah.
As we covered before, I think it was me and you, Eric. These guys, it takes 5 content creators together on a panel to barely fill a room full of boomers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you think
you know why they wouldn't do this? Because of that reason. They wouldn't do it because of that reason. They're not going to do anything that they're not for sure that they can control the narrative. If they can't control the narrative, they're not going to do it.
I'll be honest, for that reason is why I want them to do it, because I want this thing to bomb.
Oh, it would though.
Hard.
It would,
yeah.
100%. Do you think that people would go to a whole weekend just to listen to these guys talk on panel? No. What would be? How everything's woke and dying?
I would
they got Zachary Levi, they got Dean Cain.
I think that would be awesome.
And also, why the fuck would Turning Point USA go to a comic convention?
Oh God,
that doesn't even make sense.
Because they don't like politics and comics, and they're not.
That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
There's not going to be any college students to they kind of lost their guy that does that anyway. But yeah.
I mean, look, this stuff isn't working. That's why Eric is going back to podcasting. He's going back to podcasting. He announced he's having a kid, by the way. He announced that on social media. So I don't know if he's having a kid or already had a kid, but something along those lines. And now he's doing Rip-a-Send merch. So we have come full circle now to exactly what people said he should have been doing in the first place, which is just give your fans merch. That's it. If they want to buy a hat, they want to buy a shirt, they want to buy something, just make it available for them. So now we have Rip-a-Send
that would be
merch.
What's the equivalent of that? Is Diamond Distributors putting out merch and people like buying and wearing that? That's kind of this, right? Isn't that what the equivalent would be?
You don't have a diamond hat?
Oh no, man. I mean, I did, but like they're so rare.
You know what this tells me though? This tells me that the comic book shit ain't working. That's what it's telling me. The comic book shit ain't working. If he had tons of people coming to him for Rip-a-Send because he's such a great businessman, he would have no reason to do something other than that, because his warehouse would be full of merch in terms of comic books and posters and things like that to go out for these comic books. But here he's going, hey, we have a lot of empty warehouse space that we need to make money from. So now we're going to do Rip-a-Send merch. And the great thing about this for him is it doesn't have to be comic book related. So he's going to start putting out merch for Az and Gary and all these other guys, storing it in his warehouse and shipping it out from his warehouse.
Well, so get some Elam merchandise.
Yeah, shit. I need to get that put together.
So yeah, I feel like that's what's going on with the Ripison merch and whatnot. So he's back to podcasting, and now he's just going to be shilling T-shirts and hats for all of his channel friends and stuff. So yeah.
You know, we didn't really discuss if we were going to cover this or not, but Bob, you really hit something in your review of Batman #1 at the end there with Wes and his. It really does seem like he's giving it a passable review because he's
I don't know if you saw. So like I covered that on stream. I think Eric got like the request after I covered it on stream because like the next day he comes out with a video after I covered it on stream.
Yeah, someone requested it in my comment. I was like,
I finally added it together. Eric's had his out for a little bit, but like I finally added together mine. It was pretty funny at the end where he like I went to see what his review was. I was like, okay, I agree. I thought it was decent. I'm surprised he thought it was decent, especially since the comic book about Batman and there's this woman giving him advice and the woman ends up being right and Batman
uses empathy instead of fighting and he actually
it's actually a really cool book, but it's like if you want to call it woke, it's totally woke.
100%. That's the kind of book he would call woke or whatever. Talk shit on it the way that because that's almost exclusively what he does on his channel. Like it's very, very rare that I can even think of him just being positive about something, and unless it's maybe when he's covered some comic skate type book or whatever, so it's notable that he's like, and of course, even still, he has to maintain his brand and also maintain the negative for the clicks by kind of saying that there's some stuff he didn't like about it or whatever, but overall he likes it. And blah, blah,
and get your exclusive copy that I can provide you through this link. And it's like,
be sure to use this link to get your exclusive. That I'm definitely benefiting from.
Well, no, it's like the crazy thing for me is like, so the company that is sponsoring the video is actually connected to the comic book.
Apparently, and
that's crazy.
What I think it is that that's one like almost there's a whole bunch of comic book local comic book shops that they can get exclusive covers via the publishers. So like it's pretty easy for almost any, I don't know how easy it is really, but it's almost any comic book shop can do this. They can sign some, I don't know what the deal looks like or anything like that, but they can have this shop's exclusive cover, and that's all it is.
But still the thing is they are paying him to promote their variant covers. That's essentially what they're doing,
which means they're definitely overpricing it.
But I even said in my video, I was like, look, the problem is with that video is we have to mind read him and decide like whether or not he's telling the truth about his feelings on the comic. And then you muddy the waters on that by saying he is financially benefiting from saying it's a good comic because the company that is sponsoring the video is financially benefiting from selling the comic. So it's just really stupid.
I don't think we have to mind read him because if you've ever seen a video where he talks about, like I've watched the most I've ever watched him was toward the end of the Krakoan era of X-Men because he was really railing against those, which is some of my favorite comics ever. And the way he would talk about them was so fucking disingenuous. He would talk about a specific issue, but he wouldn't, he would kind of mention the writer, but then he'd like these people, blah, blah, blah. And he'd get real general and vague about what he's talking about through most of the thing. He would almost sometimes not even really mention what happens in the issue itself. And he just kind of uses it as a springboard to start talking about, these activists and stuff like that. And it's like, man,
well, yeah. Wow. You're bringing up the thing. Cause I did actually, because I really like that comic book and I was about ready to see what his response was. And again, about a minute into it, hey guys, check out the link for 616 Comics or whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, oh, that's right. He just says whatever for money. That's all we know about him. So 100%. Like it's not worth any opinion he has is fucking worthless because he just says it for money. Whatever he thinks will make him money, that's what he's saying. That's what most of these guys do. But
I will give him credit.
It's just so obvious.
He's added some lighting to his houseboat so it doesn't look so much like just like a little houseboat that he's living on.
Ooh.
So here's this.
Have you seen the video?
I've seen it's like a 20-second,
it's bad. It's so bad.
Looks
I know there's a video Eric showed that was
yeah, that's the one that I think they've been circulating.
Well, I mean, let me see. Is it on your channel? I assume.
Oh no, it's in a live stream. You have to go to the article and then the video's in the article.
Oh, which article?
Which one did we watch, Bob? Was it like the Hollywood Reporter one?
I don't remember what it was.
I think it was Hollywood Reporter, but I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. Hold on.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I got a quick clip I wanted to just highlight here because, you know, for those that aren't aware, I do live in Portland, Oregon.
Are you under siege?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, with that in mind, I just wanted to play this very quick clip here.
You have the only armed, disciplined force available.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be your policeman. There's a reason why you separate military and the police. One fights the enemy, the state. The other serves and protects the people. When the military becomes both, then the enemies of the state tend to become the people.
Man, the guy, whoever came up with that, should write for Star Trek at some point.
All right, I found the video. It's like a 1 minute and 50-some second video.
Well, I mean, it's not awesome. It's cringe as fuck. But yeah, it gets the point across.
There's a couple of lines of this video towards the end where we were all sort of like cringing a bit. So the beginning starts off kind of harmless. You can tell it's AI. Some of the mouths look really weird. I'm sure you'll notice it. When we get towards the end and they talk about this actress specifically, it's pretty rough. Here we go. There's no humans in this video, by the way.
We all knew TV was dead, but thought, why not squeeze in one last development meeting?
We had one rule: no missing children, no dead women, and no reboots of Heartbeat.
We'd pitched this beautiful comedy, two sisters running a funeral parlor in Margate. Warm, weird, very BBC Two.
The commissioner said no. AI generated 100 better.
Yeah, her mouth. Yeah. That's one of the ones. Like we watched this.
That one's really noteworthy. It's like, oh, what the fuck is wrong?
And
with
it
her?
shows her again. We'll get to see her again in a second. But watch her mouth. Like it's bad.
BBC Two.
The commissioner said no. AI generated 100 better ideas in minutes, perfectly aligned to channel data, viewing figures, and optimized for the audience. The winning AI format?
I know what you streamed last summer.
An interactive thriller built from...
Wait, hold on for a second. Let me go back to that.
Did they not even correct where the letters are messed
Yeah, I was
up
going to say the letters off. Streamed is wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's not even... I guess. It looks like it's combining T and R.
But it's also not even centered on the video.
No.
It's to the right of the video.
Garbage.
An interactive thriller built from your streaming history and Deliveroo orders.
What?
And who could forget the mental health format?
Britain's Got Breakdown. Audience votes on who gets therapy.
Ian Katz loved that one. I remember saying, you do realise this is for BBC Two? It tested ridiculously well, particularly among men who shop at Screwfix and women obsessed with gut health.
All made for less than the catering budget on The Bear.
It cast and budgeted itself.
By the way, look at this person. Look what this person's holding in their hands. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Is it like
you see lots of people just snacking in this, and it's like you can tell it's a computer just being like, "What do people do while talking? I'll just generate that
at the same time just seems weird to me. Man, it's just a personal preference, but I would not be drinking coffee as I eat something like that.
But it's also weird that they picked the one overweight guy, and they're like, "We're going to put coffee and food in his hands."
There's another overweight guy, but what I was thinking about is just the fact that they're making sure to make some people, you know, that don't look like perfect, pretty people, which is even more deceptive because, you know, you imagine that they have to be typing that. They're like,
well, look, here's the other big guy. They got food in front of him too. There's food in front of him as well.
Oh my god.
Well, I think
he's looking at a fucking he's looking at Erica Kirk back there from 2012 Miss Universe.
Well, I mean that's part of the thing though. Like if somebody were to actually sit down and do like a little video or something like this, you don't like grab a coffee and grab like your half-eaten sandwich and sit down and do a fucking interview.
Yeah. But it gets even worse though. I'm telling you, Dane, you're not going to believe what this guy says.
It's going to get gross.
Only bit it struggled with was consent in Rome.
What was that?
Worse than as here?
It's the comment is very disgusting. I'm surprised they left it in the video, to be honest. But this video was AI generated apparently, so maybe they didn't have anything to do with that.
Romantic scenes. We just ignored that.
It wrote the whole script.
Go back here. Listen to what he says here.
Romantic scenes.
Budget on The Bear.
It cast and budgeted itself. Only bit it struggled with was consent in romantic scenes. We just ignored that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It gets worse, but yeah, it's like holy shit.
Yep. Damn. But let's keep going.
It wrote the whole script. Claude 3, Gemini, GPT. We called it a writer's room. It even did its own Silver Mouse paperwork and immediately got Albert certified.
What's Silver Mouse?
Just an elaborate BBC hazing ritual. Who did it cast?
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated by some company called Particle 6. She'll do.
Now, I'm going to tell you what Particle 6 is also doing. We went over this in my stream. It's pretty crazy, but let's continue here.
Anything I say, I'm already in love.
Oh, let me go back. Let me go back. This is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the creep one.
This guy is.
Get ready for this. This is creepy.
She'll do anything I say. I'm already in love.
Girl next door vibes.
She'll do anything I say. Already in love. Girl next door vibes.
Look at the text down there at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, this is not a real person, so the age it doesn't matter, right? It's not a human being, so there's no age. But she looks to be very young. Like if I were to look at this person, I would say no older than 20, probably.
Yeah,
maybe 21.
18 to 20 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
looking at her.
But it doesn't matter. See, that's the issue. It doesn't matter because
she'll do anything he wants.
Right.
And the thing is, like, you know, they seem to be pitching, like, honestly, rewatching this, I feel like they're pitching her more for porn, frankly.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's stay on that frame for a second. I got to get a screenshot of this.
Oh, God.
You got an old ass man going, she's girl next door vibes. What the fuck, man?
And that's the thing. Like AI is just generated from all the shit it can gather on the internet. So
right.
if it does something like porn, what's it generating that from?
I actually saw a follow-up article to this because you know the actors union is going crazy on this one.
Oh yeah.
But there's a follow-up to this. They have not disclosed how they came up with any of this stuff. Like this is scraped from the internet and they're not disclosing where it came from. So we don't know where all this stuff is pulled from.
100% AI generated by some company called Particle 6.
She'll do anything I say. I'm already in love.
Girl next door vibes.
Like if a Sunday roast went to drama school and got BAFTA optimized.
But can she cry on Graham Norton?
Of course she can. And it'll be clipped,
okay, as I
subtitled,
pointed out, no, she can't because he's not fucking real. She's
What I was kind of taken aback by, there was seemed to be grown men in pink tutus running behind that lady a minute ago.
Was it? I didn't see that.
No, there was one interview happening. And there was people dressed up in 16th century shit.
Like if a Sunday roast went to drama school and got BAFTA optimized.
Can she cry on Graham Norton?
I want to point out also, showing her crying seems to me like they're showing you can manipulate her emotions as an AI actor, basically.
After they've already told you that these things struggle with consent.
Right.
You know, and that she'll do anything you want, right?
Yeah.
Of course she can. And it'll be clipped, subtitled, and monetized on TikTok by lunchtime. We're all going to hell. Got
me so happy about it. We're all going to hell. Oh, and they're taking shots at themselves to be self-deprecating, right? To we know this is fucked up. We don't have to do it, but we're doing it.
3 seasons and a podcast by an AI commissioner, much faster.
But hey, at least it wasn't a reboot.
No, please.
It is
more
though.
reboots.
No, it is. Everything they're using is a reboot
at once.
It's like the worst reboot.
So Particle 6, what I was saying about what they're doing is that the actors union is finding out that all the information they're scraping from this is from who knows where. So you've got a younger girl visually she looks like a young girl, but there could be adult content that has been scraped into this. So you, like Bob was saying, anything she's doing would just be pulled from something else. So where would it be getting that information from? That's the real creepy part about it.
So yeah, SAG-AFTRA has already condemned it, which I pretty much expected when this started getting announced. To be clear, Tilly Norwood is not an actor. It's a character generated by a computer program that was trained on the work of countless professional performers without permission or compensation. It has no life experience to draw from, no emotion, and from what we've seen, audiences aren't interested in watching computer-generated content untethered from human experience. It doesn't solve any problem. It creates the problem of using stolen performances to put actors out of work, jeopardizing performers' livelihoods, and devaluing the human artistry. Absolutely correct.
The statement that I saw by the creator, I guess it's the one woman, it seemed like a woman's name maybe, that created her, created it rather. it upset me what she was saying. I don't know if that's included in here, but it's like her defense to the backlash statement that she made. But I don't know. It was just like, oh, this isn't meant to replace anybody.
Oh, wait.
It's just, it's not meant to be scary or whatever. It's just a piece of art. And it's like, no, none of that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we assume that the creator created it with the best intentions of just like, look how cool technology is, right? Which that's probably not what happened. You may not think it's going to replace somebody, but studios are already seeing green by that, doing that very thing, by wanting to do that very thing.
It does
Studios
say here,
want to do that.
contentious subject in Hollywood after her creator, Aline van der Velden, claimed that multiple talent agencies were interested in signing the AI actress. The Acting Guild believes oh wait, that's on the Acting Guild.
I don't understand how you can create this thing and then still say that things are supposed to remain. You know what I mean?
Oh, here we go.
I
see AI not as a replacement for people, but as a new tool, a new paintbrush.
It's not.
This
is
or what?
property
What is the point other than to use it in place of people?
Absolutely. Just as animation, puppetry, or CGI open fresh possible. Okay, so all that stuff requires people to do it, though.
Yeah, this is not. This is literally taking the human element out of it.
Yeah,
there's no human component.
Without taking away live acting, this is taking away live acting. AI offers another way to imagine and build stories. No, it just imagines a way to regurgitate them. I'm an actor myself, and nothing, certainly not AI actors, can take the craft or human joy from performances.
But
wait till the studio sees the numbers.
But the thing is, why would they pay them for this person when they can make it themselves? That's the point. Like, why do you need this Tilly Norwood? By the way, I also want to point out, we had a ton of AI people in that video that said and did way more than Tilly did. And all of them, different women of color, different people of color, people of different sizes. They didn't want any of them. They wanted the really young girl next door vibes, white girl.
Right. That
looks like a child.
Yep. And they're not going for, they could have, one of those guys that looks like he could, maybe be a Philip Seymour Hoffman type. All right. They're not going for anybody like that. They're going for the young exploitative, yucky.
Creepy, man.
Creepy stuff, man. And it's like you were saying, we don't know where this was sourced from. There could definitely be some, porn included in there.
Yeah. And then it would just get imprinted on this young character. So, and they ignore consent. Remember, we just ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore consent. She'll do whatever you want, man. It's great.
Well, oh, by the way, the other thing though that I really find troubling about this Tilly Norwood is, and all of the characters created for that bullshit, I didn't hear any of them calling for the release of the Epstein files.
Oh, no.
That was very upsetting.
So that just, that's, if you didn't have any other reason to hate them all, there you go. Now you got one.
Also, they're completely fake. But yeah, it is upsetting. And
did you see that the griftosphere, whatever, Libs of TikTok world, is having to go back 3 years in time to get mad about a show that has been canceled since 2023?
What?
The Dead End Paranormal show or whatever. Hold on.
Oh God.
Dead End Paranormal Park. It was a 2-season show on Netflix that was made by a gay creator, animated series, and it was canceled. The final episode aired at the beginning of 2023. So it's been off the air for a long time. Libs of TikTok is now going, we should cancel Netflix because of this cartoon that has already been canceled. And Elon Musk is reposting it and stuff. I'm like, with all the stuff going on in the world, well, this is what you're focused on? A show that doesn't even have another season anymore?
Elon Musk? You mean, let me see. This Elon Musk?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing everything they can to distract from this. Dead End had 2 seasons, okay? It was canceled because people weren't watching it, and now it's having the Streisand effect because Libs of TikTok is talking about it because there's a trans character in the show, and they're saying, oh, this is being promoted to kids or whatever. It's old shit. Nobody was watching it anymore. I'm surprised it's even still on Netflix, not because of obviously the trans stuff, but because Netflix keeps dumping stuff that's nobody's watching. It's crazy. So if you ever needed any more proof that we have reached the end of the road for the grifty stuff, Libs of TikTok, one of the largest shit posting hate accounts on Twitter, is now retroactively going after stuff that has already been canceled. It's already over. Like, there's no more episodes of that coming out.
It's almost like it's the Acolyte.
Yeah, I saw that today. They're talking about the Acolyte again.
It's ridiculous.
Don't let them fool you. They wanted that Savant series to come out.
Oh yeah.
No, absolutely.
They wanted that to come out because it would have given them weeks and weeks and weeks of videos to make.
It won't tell them over till Wonder Man, which I'm sure they'll go wild on when that finally comes out, which I think is part of why Marvel's holding back publicity on it. And it's coming up pretty quickly.
Maybe.
Did you guys see the you ever heard of Eamon Animations? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, what is it? What's going on with that?
Eamon Anime. He's got a new one just about Ethan Klein.
Okay.
This is pretty awesome. I mean, it's like 15 minutes long.
I'm so
but,
disappointed in Ethan Klein.
Well, this is pretty cathartic, for sure.
Yeah, somebody wanted me. Sorry, I know it's not on this topic, but somebody wanted me to react to the Brie Larson video from Nerdrotic. I just don't have any. I don't have any interest in watching. It's like a really long video, like the rise and fall of Brie Larson or some bullshit like that.
Did he really?
Oh, he's doing that now. I know Critical Drinker was doing shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's just a amalgamation of other videos that he just kind of clipped together.
Hey, so you know what, man? I mean, like, I get it, but I mean, you shouldn't have to do that. You can just kind of like you see the three little dots over any given YouTube video. You can just say don't recommend channel. You know, there's also some you know, varying degrees of effectiveness. You know, add-ons you can do for your browser that will, you know, not show you certain channels and content too. So like, don't let them run you off of social media. I mean, I'm not an advocate for staying on social media, believe me, but if you got some benefit out of it and you just left because of that, I don't know, there's ways to get rid of them. Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of Brie Larson, I guess we can talk about what's up?
I was just gonna say, I just was looking at Nerdrotic's channel and his views. Like, listen, man, he's like, if it were my channel, I'd be thrilled with these views. These are kind of like, these are better than my peak views. But like, what compared to what he was getting before, this is actually kind of stark difference. He used to semi-regularly get 1 million views on a video. And he hasn't gotten 1 million views since his Superman review and 2 months ago.
Yikes.
This goddamn free speech video he did can't get to 200K, which channel his size and his activity, that's just really sad. That's I find that interesting.
So we got some Marvel news as in MCU. So they have finalized their film releases.
Oh yes,
and I guess shows as well. So they went from what I think there was going to be like 6 releases in 2026 originally, something like that. So yeah, as it was first revealed during Hall H in 2022, Phase 6 was originally intended to be made up of at least 11 projects. As of July 2022, only 3 of those projects were known, and they were all films: Fantastic Four: First Steps, Avengers, Doomsday, formerly Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. At the time, the multiverse saga was on its track to be composed of an incredible 39 projects, with 8 of them being unknowns. Since then, things have changed. So, according to Variety, Disney has now removed the last remaining untitled Marvel Studios project from its slate. Once slated to release on July 23rd, 2027, the project has been preempted for The Simpsons 2. Oh.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is Disney has too many IPs and they don't have enough room to get them all out at the same time. I think that's the problem.
And they don't want to compete with each other. Listen, and there's also lots of reserving of release dates. Like when a film studio says we're going to release X on a certain date, they're kind of just reserving that. It doesn't really mean as much as people like to make out. It just means, yeah, we're probably going to release something then, but we, you know, hey, we're
So now Phase 6 will consist of only 4 films, one of which is already out. Fantastic Four, First Steps, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars. Rather than throw another Avengers
we also
film,
have Spider-Man, but that's a Sony release. So
it said
Well, he
Spider-Man.
brought up Spider-Man, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And I will also say, I think of the 3 of those, I think the one least likely to make $1 billion is Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man's.
I actually think Spider-Man's gonna. I think it's still gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah, I think
it
it's got
will.
a solid shot. I
It
think
has the last couple of times.
I think these 3 movies are gonna be. I mean, unless there's some catastrophic event that prevents it from happening, which we live in a world where that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I think all of these movies should make $1 billion. Like I
So
feel like they all should make.
Let's do a best case scenario and say that Marvel, you know, this does seem to be what they're shooting for. They decided, look, we're going to take our 3 strongest properties, put those out, okay, and let's say they all hit $1 billion. How are the chuds going to spend that?
Oh well, they were supposed to hit $2 billion. Do you know that?
Or they'll just say, oh well, they had to drop a bunch of movies in order to make that happen, or something like that. You know,
Well, you know exactly how they built up to the other Avengers movies. Yes.
So yeah, there's that. As it stands, here's the look at that, man.
There's still a lot of stuff because you got to count the shows and stuff that are coming out too. There's a ton
Wonder
of
Man,
stuff.
Born Again season 2,
Punisher. There's a Punisher hour-long special presentation.
Born Again season 3, and then Secret Wars,
and then the Vision Quest, whatever that's going to be. Also,
oh yeah, that one.
So there's still a lot of stuff coming out. We talked about this. I don't remember what week it was. It was last month sometime, but we talked about the fact that what Disney has right now is too many IPs to put them out without overlapping with each other. And I think that's what we're seeing here. Simpsons is probably going to do really well for them. Yeah. Animation is doing really well right now. So I think Simpsons will do really well for them. I also believe that Marvel movie was probably, they were hoping for it to be Blade.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And they just can't make it happen. Because there's no point in putting an X-Men movie out before Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point in that. So I feel like we're in a situation where they wanted a movie they could make that didn't necessarily interfere with what was going on with Doomsday and Secret Wars, which I believe is going to be a soft reboot of the MCU.
Well, here's what my concern is, though, with this release schedule. Like all these releases, I'm actually pretty excited for all of them to varying degrees. They all have a lot of promise, I think. The one thing that's not on their release schedule is the Epstein files.
That is weird. Why isn't that on there?
What's going on there? Come on, Marvel. Let's see. James Gunn updates DC Studios slate. So, looking like the second season of Peacemaker landing on HBO Max shortly after Superman flew into theaters. So on the podcast, blah, 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 blah. To some extent, much of what he's had to say in the past few months related to the future of... I've actually got the file right here. If you want to... There we go. I'm going to read it. Clearly, very hateful stuff here.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a second, but so it looks like Brave and the Bold, Waller, Swamp Thing, The Authority, Booster Gold, all in development hell. Clayface, Mr. Miracle, Man of Tomorrow, and Wonder Woman progressed more efficiently.
And we're not even sure what Mr. Miracle is going to be connected or not. It might be an Elseworld story. We haven't been.
Well, I mean, apparently Darkseid is apparently going to appear in Mr. Miracle. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's going to be.
I feel like they would make that Elseworld because I don't think they introduced Darkseid and Mr. Miracle, to be honest.
I mean, they could do something where Mr. Miracle is an Elseworld, but like there's only one Darkseid throughout all the multiverse. Yeah,
that's possible.
Right now, there's actually 2 really cool film scripts that I'm hoping to take to the next level, and that we have general plans for, and I'm excited about both of those, he told GQ. And then I'm excited about one TV project in particular. I don't know why we're not green-lighted on that already. It's just figuring out the budget. There's a couple of things that are very present that I'm excited about. Left open to interpretation. On the one hand, 2 really cool film scripts could be Wonder Woman and The Brave and the Bold, both of which are known to be in development. On the other hand, given how projects such as Sergeant Rock and Clayface seemingly emerged from the ether, Gunn on those two projects could be something he's yet to address publicly. Although he did say in another, or maybe it's the same interview, I'm not sure, where he said that he's not going to be focusing as much on lesser known characters.
Yeah, that was a little annoying. I was like, okay.
Well, he makes Clayface.
That's almost certainly
Well,
like an executive above his head decision. You know what I mean? Where they're like, look, we'll let you do your Clayface and your Sergeant Rock, but you got to get us some Batman and some known quantities out there making.
Well, I mean, when they say lesser known, what does that mean? Like, do we mean like not the
like,
Justice League characters? Is that it? Like anyone that's not Justice
What he
League?
means
I
is
think it
that
probably means Sergeant Rock and like, you know, maybe not Clayface necessarily.
Well,
but
certainly means the Authority. No, he's not going to do an Authority movie now, which sucks.
what it means is that yes, Blue Beetle is part of his universe, but don't expect to see him again. Don't expect.
Well, it also makes me wonder, are we going to get a Mr. Terrific film? Because I thought we were going to do a Terrifics movie.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But I guess not now. I guess we won't.
Well, boy, the Chuds would go wild on that one too.
Yeah.
So
Superman, actually, we mentioned this on my podcast, but it's broken records on streaming. So
right, yeah, I saw just watched your short video on that. That you both are on that. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good thing. It's almost like it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and that people enjoy it, and then the more people hear about how good it is, the more other people watch it. That's weird.
Then we got Rob Liefeld going crazy over Fantastic Four on social media, which
I haven't heard anything about that. Of course,
God.
I know Rob Liefeld's essentially gone grifter, pretty much.
Oh, it's big. He's complaining about Disney, or I think it was either Disney or maybe one of the magazines, promoting the positive reception to Fantastic Four on streaming, which is typically what happens with these movies. And he's like, but what about the $120 million in marketing? Why does nobody talk about that? It's like, shut the fuck up. You are a bad grifter. You're really bad at this.
Yeah. It's like they're talking about how well it's doing on streaming, and he's like, well, what about the money spent? And it's like,
what does he have to do with
kind of irrelevant, bro.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what he has to do with it is in the 90s, his studio was hired out to do Fantastic Four, starting with New *1s during the Heroes Reborn era. Wasn't one of his Fantastic Four, I think?
No, he did Captain America, I'm pretty sure.
He was given
Jim
two
Lee
at
did
first.
Fantastic Four.
I think he was given two different titles and he fucked one up immediately.
I want to say that his Heroes Reborn Captain America was one where we got the fucking puffy chest. I'm pretty sure that's it.
So here he goes. This is what his tweet says. Why leave off the extra $120 million for marketing? You know, the commercials, the billboards, the junkets, the entire ad campaign needed to do Superman bust to break even. And then he follows that up with, my entire adult existence, the marketing was this is a lie, by the way. This is a lie. And I'll tell you why here in a second. But he says, my entire adult existence, the marketing was part of the reported investment. Not true. That's not true. This last year, the studios have moved those marketing ad numbers obscured or removed entirely as to lower the bar and give the appearance of success by just saying film budget only. That's only part of the sizable number. No, you fucking idiot. Advertising in general, and we've talked about this many, many times, is part of a loss package when it comes to making movies and TV shows. It is a bulk number that no one knows the exact figures on. So when somebody says rule of thumb with marketing, that means they don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why you don't include it, because we don't know what it is. Secondly, we also don't know any ancillary money that's coming in. We don't know any brand deals that were made when it comes to marketing. So all those things you listed off, some of that gets taken care of with like deals they make, like with different companies. So Pizza Hut or McDonald's, or maybe they offer interviews in exchange for something else. All of those things count. You're trying to like say it's a negative, but you're not even being honest about why you think it's a negative.
I mean, I've been seeing fucking Fantastic Four cereal boxes floating around.
Yeah,
that is pretty much free publicity for Marvel. In fact, they probably got money for.
No, they did get paid for that. Yeah, I've already looked it up. Anytime a company, whether it be Burger King, Cheerios, Pepsi, anytime they put a character from a movie or a comic book on their product, they have to pay Marvel for that. It's not the other way around.
Because it just
they pay Marvel for that.
To think about who benefits more from that kind of deal. Do you really think that cereal boxes are putting butts in seats? No.
Yeah.
But
Marvel doesn't give them money to put their IPs on their bottles.
Right.
That makes no sense whatsoever. It's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that? Why would they pay them to put their intellectual property on their boxes and bottles?
Exactly.
At the very least, at the very least they trade off and say no one spends any money. We advertise for you, and you don't charge us to use your IP. They do make deals like that, but at the very least, it's a break even. It doesn't even cost them anything.
The numbers by your name in chat are like just generally like engagement and how I don't know how it values that really, but you know.
Yeah, you get like XP, and then I guess if you win, you get a prize. I used to say, hey, if you wanted me to pick a specific topic and you win that, I'll give it. But people weren't
gamifying
really
chat
contributing, so it didn't really matter.
Also, if you do things like gift memberships and stuff like that, it bumps you way up on the list. If somebody gifts a membership or does a super chat or does a super sticker or something like that, it bumps them up on the list. I know that.
So,
but by the way, if you're watching on my channel, I am doing a poll to see who I should cover on my next live stream. But I will only follow that poll if we reach our 5 super chat goal. So just throwing that out there.
One more Marvel thing here, and this is subjective, I suppose, or just kind of speculative, rather. But like, Daredevil Born Again stars say that it's purely coincidental, entirely accidental, perceived similarities between Kingpin and Donald Trump. And maybe they believe that, but they might not be aware that literally the Devil's Reign storyline, which is the storyline where Kingpin was mayor and weaponized their kind of target. We use the police to target people. That was directly inspired by Trump's first administration, because the way that the Kingpin tried to maintain being mayor is by starting a riot, a citywide riot. Very similar to January 6th. It's pretty clear that was, loosely inspired by. And so,
but also saying purely coincidental, that's on the backs of the chuds that saw it in the media, because every person that complained to me about it was like, well, he's just like Trump. Are you saying he's just like Trump? Because if you're saying that, then you're seeing that what he's doing is wrong, and you must acknowledge that that's also wrong. Trump is doing it.
Well, I mean, if there's similarities, like you're saying, they're perceiving it, and that's pretty telling. But also, a power-hungry criminal getting into power authoritarian is generally going to do a handful of things every time. You know what I mean? Like they kind of have a playbook almost, and
I mean, it's exactly like the one Bethesda sharing that clip from the Indiana Jones game where he's scratching the cat saying, "Oh, you don't like fascists either."
I'd say
and all these guys getting offended and be like, "You're attacking Charlie Kirk." It's like,
at least there is some. I mean, I can see why it's valid to make this with that one. That's just like, man, y'all are really telling on yourselves with that Charlie Kirk shit.
Also, the Peacemaker stuff. The people that are like
Peacemaker did the same thing.
Yeah, so like with the Earth X storyline, they're like, oh, they're making all the white people evil. I'm like, no, they're making the white supremacists evil, not white people, white supremacists. If you see yourselves in those people, you might want to do a little self-reflecting.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything that shows that Harcourt is evil or anything like that, but they're definitely beneficiaries of a white supremacist.
Well, yeah, we need to wait for the whole story to play out for sure. Yeah. But I mean, in general,
it was spot on, man. Because I'm kind of concerned. I feel like Gunn's going to pull it off, but there is a bit of concern with only 2 episodes left that they're not going to, and I think you're probably right. They're going to show ads in probably some kind of holding facility that's going to have all the people of color or whatever the hell, and it's going to be pretty awful. But yeah, I really hope he pulls it off and doesn't leave any room for them to go. See,
there's a million ways it could go wrong.
It really feels like they've been procrastinating for like 6 episodes. Then finally we're getting to what all of us have been waiting for. What's up with this other fucking universe? Which is pretty much what we all expected too.
Right. A lot of us kind of anticipated what exactly it was too. So
I mean, I remember I think it was the episode where he fought the Sons of Liberty. It actually did occur to me watching. I'm like, why are there no people of color in this universe?
Yeah. Also, apparently Halloween, the band that they listen to, is a German metal band.
Oh.
Apparently. So
Okay.
Tell you what I'm interested in is this vigilante, like the one distinction of him being like, no, I fucking hate Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty compelling. I want to see where that goes. You know, is he going to be jealous of the other vigilante because he got to chop up his body? And you know, who
I
knows?
mean, I also kind of figured they would semi-justify him. I guess spoilers, him killing his other version and revealing that he's some sort of villain or something.
I'm wondering, and I said this on my stream, I'm wondering if we're not going to see the resolution of their conversation, and just one of them is going to show up, and we don't know which one it is. That's what I'm wondering.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I didn't think about that, but I was like, what if they just switch them out? What if they actually do switch them out? And
well, because they're so similar. That's the thing. Like like no one else is as similar as the two of them. They're essentially the same person with the same life, pretty much, except one of them doesn't like Peacemaker.
Now let's talk about the implications of the Spider-Man meme existing in this universe, right? Because they do they literally do the Spider-Man meme. And they're like, oh, Spider-Man meme, right? So this is presumably a universe where the Nazis won.
Right.
Stan Lee was famously a Jewish man who, you know, in the 60s was, you know...
Are we assuming somebody else created Spider-Man in this universe then? Is that what it is?
It really is kind of a rabbit hole that doesn't matter, but it is kind of funny to think about, right? I mean, it could just be that Stan Lee, you know, as he did with his name anyway, you know, tried to downplay his Jewishness, but even to a greater extent.
I mean, we even got the little nod to the whole Nazi universe when Vigilante was walking down the hallway and he goes, "Oh, my dad's not gay in this universe." And it's like, no, he is gay. He's just hiding it. So
did you listen to the podcast at all? Because the other idea that they had for what to do with his mom whenever Vigilante walked by was that there was going to be the only time you see that version of Economos.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Making out with his mom, and Vigilante was just going to go, "Oh, Vigilante's my mom's hooking up with Economos."
Yeah,
that was all you were going to be seeing.
That would have been a funnier scene, but the one with his dad hiding being gay, that was a much more like
it's more.
It's one of those things where when you know the full reveal, it's like, oh fuck.
He's like, my dad's not gay, and he's literally sitting on the opposite end of the couch, just blank face, staring at the TV. Like, looks real happy there, huh? Yeah. So I mean, you know, I've seen some people. You know, your level of concern is about, you know, I think that's appropriate in your video, Eric. But I saw some people that are just like, there's no way they're going to be able to do it right, you know, blah blah blah, and he's gonna fuck it up. And I don't know. I feel like you know, they said that they should have shown more stuff at the end of this episode, the most recent one. And I'm like, I feel like they gave you with just a single line and then the action of everybody running toward ads, but the single line of one got out.
I'm fine with the way they ended it. I think we just need 2 very long episodes now. We need like 2 40+ minute episodes to get all this taken care of.
Yeah, my specific issues with this episode are not really the episode itself. I think it was finally scripted, finally put together. I just thought, I think I would have liked it if it came like as episode 4 instead of episode 6.
Yeah.
I mean, considering
we'll see.
One of the things that I think we can, really thinking about James Gunn's filmography and stuff, is that he's very good at packing a lot of, you know, relevant information and stuff into a runtime. You know, when you think about just the Superman movie, there's so much shit that happens in that movie, right? But I mean, it doesn't ever feel.
Yeah. We'll see, because as much as I am concerned, as you know, I've brought up, he does have pretty much a pretty spotless track record when it comes to comic book stuff at this point. So it's like, let's see, let's let him cook.
I mean, I doubt it. I mean, that's not really a thread that needs to be followed up on, I don't think, because
I think it's a fun.
If they do, then cool. If they manage to put that in there, and he's just like, I'm leaving you.
My biggest concern, and this is what I said on my stream, was that they will not be able to fix the problem because the problem is systemic and it's too large.
Yeah, you can't fix that world. You just gotta. The only thing they can do is try to get you know, anybody that doesn't want to be there. You know, perhaps our vigilante sacrifices himself and the other one comes along. Who knows? Something like that. We do need that. I mean, that's one way to fix it. You know, just GI Robot in there.
Could you imagine just putting GI Robot on that world and letting him go crazy? Here you go,
Yes.
GI Robot. Have fun.
I mean, maybe that's a way to wrap up because they don't seem to have too much for Vigilante to do. But maybe like at the end here, it'll be something big where, yeah, maybe the other Vigilante dies and maybe he stays behind to continue the fight. Then I don't know. That could be interesting.
I mean, look, actually now that I think about it, the GI Robot thing isn't entirely impossible. We have Rick Flag Sr. as a connective thread. You know,
GI Robot is still around. They have
he
him,
might be
so-
like, hey, I know a guy that you know, and he might just go to a bunch of different, you know, of course it doesn't seem like where he's going with this. He seems a little bit more sinister in his intentions, but you know, what if he did go pick up a bunch of GI robots from various dimensions and just dropped them in the Nazi dimension?
Oh god.
Oh, the other thing is we have that alien that we still don't know what the
Yeah.
relevance of that creature is. So
So far it's just been like a joke. He never says hi. He's an asshole.
I mean, that's a good question too. Were the Epstein files released? Almost certainly not.
Maybe
Not
that
on
alien
Earth
has the
X,
Epstein
Because
files.
that would take, that's how you would take that whole system down, actually, is yeah, I'm gonna try not to think about it because it does seem, the more I think about it, the more it would be kind of disappointing to, and it's almost certainly not
I
gonna.
think whatever cool shit we think of is not going to happen. It's probably going to
Right.
be
True.
something completely outside. I do think the most likely thing is the vigilante thing. I think we will get a switch of the vigilante character because they're both exactly the same except for
Yeah.
not liking Peacemaker.
Which would
Mhm.
create an interesting dynamic between him and Peacemaker in the next season, where he's like, I don't know, either still hates him or he's trying to, you know, learn to be okay with him or whatever. Who knows?
And he probably has a good relationship with his mother, which means when he comes back, he'll start being nice to his mom, and she's not going to know how to deal with that because they made a point of showing how much Adrian hates his mother.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think that might be a situation we have to see.
So thank you for pointing that out because I did not click on that when I saw it on the side of the Russo brothers posted a black and white photo on Instagram on September 30th with the caption "Look hard," recalling their cryptic in-game photo from 2018. The image shows a soundstage with lighting rigs, triangular structures, and a seated figure, sparking widespread speculation about its meaning for Avengers Doomsday. Fans immediately began analyzing the shapes in the photo, pointing out patterns resembling A, X, and 4. Oh, suggesting Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four connections. Others noticed a hooded silhouette resembling Dr. Doom and references to the TVA and Doomsday Clock visuals. Huh. So let's check this out then. You guys looked at this yet?
I haven't seen it. No,
I haven't heard this yet.
Is this really as big as I got it? What's going on here?
Instagram sucks for like looking at pictures online.
Oh yeah,
It really
Instagram's
does suck.
terrible.
But okay. Let me see if I can find a larger version of it.
AVX is what Chris is saying. Is it a Avengers versus X-Men like image? Yeah, I see.
I don't know what's that line for.
I guess it's connecting the A to make a V, I think is what it's
Okay.
doing.
Huh.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, that would seem like something that Marvel. I mean, I remember back in the day, whenever during the Avengers versus X-Men comic book series, as it was playing out, you know, I was doing a podcast back then, and somebody asked me like, you know, what do you think is going to be, you know, the most likely outcome of this? And I was like, I don't know, man. Knowing Marvel, they're going to do like Uncanny Avengers or some shit like that, and that's exactly what they did. Like, I've got a pretty good track record. So I mean, if they have decided that the way to go is to, you know, like we just looked at, reduce the number of just, you know, smaller projects on film, and just like we just need to go for broke and literally make more money, that would be the logic I think they would go with, is just to kind of, but from what I understood, based on what I believe to be somewhat credible leaked plot information about Doomsday, is that the Avengers versus X-Men thing was going to happen in that movie, and that either by the end or at least the beginning of Secret Wars they would, you know, kind of come together or whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. it could be. I don't know. Really don't know. I mean, what I really hope is that we're not going to get. Please don't stretch out the old X-Men characters, actors thing, right? Like we just need new X-Men.
See,
So
I
bad.
want West Coast X-Men.
What? You mean whenever they were living on Utopia off the coast of San Francisco?
That'd be amazing.
I mean, I want Krakoa and X-Men, but we're not going to get Krakoa and X-Men. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we want to look at this David Cross thing?
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Well, because this is a much smaller topic, I did want to talk about that for sure.
Oh yeah, I have that pulled up as well.
And actually, it has a bridge, being the Saudi Arabia thing. Saudi Arabia is making some efforts to legitimize themselves on the world's in the world's perception as being not the government that ordered the sawing up of journalist Khashoggi, and apparently more recently another guy that got killed or something. As well as literally, from what I understand, employing slaves. The royal family and
well, are you saying Saudi Arabia is not the best government? No,
if they're wanting to pay me to come tell some jokes, then I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But as of now, since they haven't offered me, I am saying that. Yes.
I mean, another thing to point out: Saudi Arabia has not released the Epstein files.
They haven't. I mean, famous free speech nation Saudi Arabia is not being forthcoming with the Epstein files. I can't believe it. Yes, there's that. I wonder if each other, because EA has long been one of the targets of the game corner of the chud grifters. They've shit on EA for quite a while, and there's some very, very valid reasons to shit on EA.
Yeah, EA really sucks as a company.
These are the kings of the loot boxes here.
I don't play EA games specifically for that reason. They're predatory. It's a predatory company in general, but
I mean, maybe they'll get less predatory under Saudi and Jared Kushner ownership. Maybe.
Sure.
Well, okay. So I used to play. There's a company called Scopely, and they owned Marvel Strike Force, which is a mobile game that I used to play quite often. I started playing it during COVID, quit years ago because of this. But when I played them, Scopely did monetize the game, obviously, because that's how mobile games make money. But the game still had a lot of access to playing it free without the monetization of impacting the game in a big way. Then a company from Saudi Arabia purchased out Scopely, and over the next year or so, the game became almost unplayable without spending loads and loads and loads of money. Yep, so I'm not really surprised that they purchased EA. It's the one that's already set up for that. So
yes, Saudi Arabia already owns about 10% of EA. And this is apparently, the deal valued at $50 billion would be the largest leveraged buyout in history. Does that mean like in any capacity? That seems crazy. Anyway.
So I think what I'm seeing here, I just did a little research, is they are going to invest heavily in esports. That's one of their big things, is like creating actual real world gambling on a lot of these things. So
and probably almost certainly start paying people from around the world to come to Saudi Arabia to do their esports championship type thing, probably.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. The negative stuff is the esports stuff. The basically doing that. Minority stakes in big publishers triggered internal and public unease. Although there's not a lot of proof of them doing that with any of the other companies they've been a part of, but that's all with minority stakes in the company, with the exception of a couple of them. Private equity style risk after takeovers, recent Saudi-backed buyout, leveraged buyout activity has raised standard private equity concerns, large debt loans, cost-cutting pressure, potential short-term profit focus that can affect studio staffing. So basically, like firing people and trying to consolidate jobs into different departments.
I see.
Let's see.
Morgan explains that, leveraged buyout is a specific type where they give the debt from the buyout to the company they bought. Okay.
No clear evidence of direct monetization changes a third-party publisher games, despite high-profile stakes. Reviews and reporting have not found widespread examples where Saudi ownership directly forced new microtransaction models, which is important because Marvel Strike Force is a good example. They didn't change the way their monetization system worked. They just increased it. They made it bigger. So since EA already has like a loot box problem, they're just going to make that loot box problem bigger. They're not going to change it.
So there's a bunch of betting, gambling going on there that almost certainly funnels to the royal family. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Riyadh comedy special.
Oh gosh, you have it on your vote. I can't do it.
I didn't know Saudi Arabia bought it, but it explains why it's gone so bad over the
Yeah,
years.
they purchased it. They purchased Scopely. I want to say 2022, 2023, somewhere around
it
there.
has been over the past few years where it's just like, Jesus Christ, can they stop with the fucking paywalls for fucking everything? But there's also this element of Saudi Arabia that they're doing a comedy festival. David Cross, who is hilarious and based as fuck. I've seen several of his comedy specials. They're great. He's calling out the comedians that agreed to perform for Saudi Arabia. This includes Bill Burr, which disappoints me. Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle, which Louis C.K. doesn't disappoint me because he's kind of pathetic anyway. But Dave Chappelle is... I'm not surprised with him. He's kind of shown to me over the past few years that he will just do whatever for money.
Well, I mean, Bill Burr has specifically talked about this before, and criticized this type of move, like almost exactly. And then so I just saw that on Monday, on his podcast Monday, he's doing exactly what the Saudis would want him to do, which is, he said he had a great time and he got there and there was a McDonald's and a Wendy's and a Burger King and a Pizza Hut and they're all so nice to him and stuff. And the only things that, he said that originally the promoters, that the royal family did have a long list of things that they couldn't talk about. And the promoter came back to him and said, look, man, we're not going to get many good comedians if you don't, shrink this list. And so they got the list shrunk down to just don't say anything about the royal family and don't say anything about religion. Which kind of takes out the whole truth to power aspect of comedy, or literally does.
I also saw Mark Maron has criticized this, but we can go over. David Cross's specific quote here. I'm disgusted and deeply disappointed in this whole gross thing that people I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A fourth house, a boat, more sneakers. We can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about unless it's complaining that we don't support enough torture and mass execution of journalists and LGBT prize activists here in the States, or that we don't terrorize enough Americans by flying planes into our buildings.
Right.
Jesus.
Look, here's this one.
There's a Riyadh Comedy Festival. I don't know if you heard about that. This is true. There's a Riyadh, Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. I mean, how do you even promote that? Like from the folks that brought you 9/11, 2 weeks of laughter in the desert. Don't miss it. I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Full disclosure, I was not asked to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, so it's kind of easy for me to take the high road on this one. Easy to maintain your integrity when no one's offering to buy it out, Well, there's a Riyadh.
He's right, though. Everything he's saying is right, though. It's all right.
Well, who else has enough integrity that they would not, absolutely would not go if offered? World famous comedian Chrissy Mayer. What's the big deal with taking money from Saudi Arabia? The alternative is taking money from Jews in Hollywood. One isn't any better or worse than the other. It's the same now. This is not exactly the screenshot I thought it was, but it's the follow-up too. What the previous it's telling.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, the one thing we're seeing now is all of these standards they said they had like 2 or 3 years ago are gone. There's no standards with these guys. It's no surprise to me. We all knew this.
Right.
We knew that none of them held any real ethical standards.
Well, I mean,
We
as
knew
I
this.
pointed out, you know, I don't have a following at all on Twitter, but I did point out here, misethical standards here. You know, literally co-hosting InfoWars, which is, you know, known for harassing the families of dead children and telling families that their
But
children
it's
are
just
dead.
it's just jokes, guys. It's just humor. That's why it's just
But
humor.
yeah, she says, truthfully, no, I actually would not. This was in response to whether or not she would go to the Riyadh thing if she was asked. Well, first of all, she would not be asked. I mean, she wouldn't. Nobody.
Well, I
they
mean,
don't know who
second of all, listen, we all know these people will do anything for money. They're offering her money, she's going.
Well, and you may notice if you've seen the poster or the list of the comedians that were going to be appearing, I don't know if there is a single woman included in that. From what
Probably not. I would say
Mm-hmm.
probably not.
So,
let's see. So other people said, ooh, yeah, here's more of a complete list. Kevin Hart, Pete Davidson, Russell Peters, Gabriel
let's talk about
Iglesias,
Pete Davidson for a
Wayne
second.
Brady, Jeff Ross, Tom Segura, and Hannibal Buress are all scheduled to appear here.
Pete Davidson, who his father died in the Twin Towers on 9/11.
Crazy.
And like, I guess he just doesn't see any, like, it would be one thing. Yeah, Whitney Cummings is one of them. For okay, sure. It'd be one thing. I think so. I don't know. I saw some fake posters going around that had me tricked for a minute. Like one of them had Bill Cosby, and I was like, "Wow, they got Bill Cosby going too." But I don't think that one's real. But yeah, what was it? It'd be one thing if this was like for the people of Saudi Arabia, right? Like if this was a show for just regular people, that would be like, and you could go, you know what? Yeah, previously I wouldn't have done this, but like we're going to, you know, introduce some comedy and some, you know, truth to power to the average person, the average Saudi citizen, right? But that's not what it is. It's literally just for the royal family.
Well, I mean, it's also worth pointing out, one of the names I read, which kind of surprised me, Wayne Brady, who a few years ago came out as pansexual. So like he's likely one of the people who'd get stoned to death in this culture if he actually fucking lived there. But let's do a comedy festival for them. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah, I was watching a podcast with some guys talking about this, and they were like, you know, do you really think that Gabriel Iglesias is going to go in there and be like, hey, good luck cutting my neck off or my head off with this thick neck. I'm fluffy. You know what I mean? Like, no, he's not. They're not going to be making any jokes like that about the royal family and the murders that they do, you know, for free speech. Like, yeah, these free speech people, and this includes comedians that I respected, you know. I was holding Bill Burr up to, you know, almost the same standard that I've been holding Mark Maron to lately. But he's really let me down on this. So just goes to show, man, money can really fuck people up.
So Whitney Cummings is the only woman.
Oh,
the only one. There's a long list. She's the only one.
I bet she's paid much less than the others.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, and that you know, regardless of gender, she probably deserves less.
And she's a both sides comedian. Like she doesn't really pick one side or the other. And she's like she calls herself a cultural contrarian, essentially. So
apparently Shane Gillis has disavowed the festival as well, and that is somebody I definitely don't agree with. But hey,
you know who doesn't? You know who doesn't fucking have a price? Stavros Hilkus, I believe it's pronounced, who I've very recently begun to realize is fucking awesome. You know who that is?
Yeah, he's does he have a podcast?
He used to be on Come Town, which is a podcast I avoided specifically because of the name. But apparently, like it was actually good, and I checked it out because like him, that Adam Friedland guy was another one of the hosts of it. He's been blowing up with his interviews lately. But yeah, Stavros is fucking hilarious, and he's leftist. Like he had that this chick that just had her special release on Netflix, Jordan Jensen. Stavros had her on his podcast not long ago, right before she was going to be on Rogan and Kill Tony. And the first thing, as soon as the podcast opens up, she starts doing like trans jokes and shit, or like saying, you know, anti-trans turf type shit. And he fucking called her out, like right there at the beginning of the podcast, made it awkward as fuck, you know, and I respect the shit out of him for that. He was like, dude, he's like, you got Austin trans brain. He's like, you're going to do great on Kill Tony with that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow.
I still stand by the fact that when someone who has a lot of money is anti any sort of diversity, they're choosing to be a piece of shit.
True.
You know what I mean? Because you have enough money that you don't even have to look down at the normies. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So if you spend your time being a hateful person, you're choosing to do that.
I mean, that's part of why Dave Chappelle's disappointed me so much. He was in a position where he could do anything he wants, and instead he's doing fucking trans jokes. It's gross.
Yeah. Yep.
So just because a lot of people haven't heard of him, I want to take a minute to check out Stavros. Since we're talking, we're kind of ruining some comedians for people here.
By the way, David Cross is still awesome.
He's got a special on Netflix. Stavros does. It's very fucking funny. He's not without edge. You know what I mean? Like he definitely.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't punch down. You know, and he's just fucking hilarious.
We look to this even further. He probably did kill Tony in like 2014. What do you call a black doctor? Nothing. There are no black doctors. Ah! The kill Tony fucking mongoloids are like, yeah! Yeah! Say the N-word!
You son of a bitch, that was incredible.
Oh my God.
Have you ever gotten pussy from a bitch that had banana bread in her ass? As a matter of fact, Tony, you fucking I have. Oh! Red band's like, that would
So
kill, dude.
they're totally roasting fucking Kill Tony right now, is what that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coast comedian Stavros Halkias seems to have woken up to the rise of the hackpocalypse that's absolutely wreaked havoc in Austin.
Hackpocalypse, I love that.
The topic of Kill Tony, Joe Rogan.
The name of this channel, by the way, is American Redact. Very good channel. They generally what this guy covers is kind of the Rogan sphere and the cringe of it all, and kind of the ongoing deflation of whatever artificial influence they seem to have for a while there.
Or the Austin comedy scene arises, Stavros isn't afraid to voice his honest opinions about it, unlike some other comics who tiptoe pretty carefully around the topic in order to spare Lord Joe Rogan's little feelings from being hurt. Like as you just saw there, Stavros really didn't hold back when joking about the smooth brains of Kill Tony superfans, and how they give standing ovations to pretty much any sentence that contains a right-winged buzzword or talking point, which of course made Yanni Pappas and Chris DiStefano burst out laughing because of how utterly true that bit was. And do keep in mind that this podcast aired around 4 months ago, right before established comedians like Mark Maron, Bill Burr, and Dan Soder made it clear to the public that Joe Rogan and his disciples are seriously doing damage to the modern comedic landscape. A call out that was so legendary that it seems to have even inspired Stavros a little, because now he's just calling out people for their obvious BS. Just last week, Stavros was on Mark Norman's podcast.
I was just gonna say, like we're seeing this, like they're infecting the comedy space. We were seeing that with them infesting the fucking YouTube nerd space. So we just have these dipshits infesting these spaces, and it's really frustrating. And it's wild that it's just spreading out all over the place.
I mean, I think that these are two of the like two cultural spaces that they, you know, to some degree, people have been intentionally or not, I don't know if they were, you know, somebody like Joe Rogan, I don't know how aware that he was just pandering to fascism he's been, or if he just was pandering to money, and that's, you know, where it led. But you know what I mean, like these two cultural spaces had played a big role in election 2024, played a big role in creating this this false notion. Is something I wanted to talk about too. The idea that these people, the chuds that, you know, we tend to cover and whatnot, they seem to think that winning an election means that they won culture and they get to dictate culture now, which is just fucking entitled, absurd, and not true. You know what I mean? In fact, culture in many cases in history, at least in pop culture history, tends to go the opposite way whenever an authoritarian, you know, or right-wing regime is in power.
True.
But yeah. There's definitely some I don't know. I want to do some more research before I speak on it, but like I've just in the last couple of months been really paying more attention to how the comedy aspect of it you know, played a big role. As you know, I've been so zeroed in on the fandom aspect of it, I kind of didn't pay much attention to this until recently.
I mean, it's spreading out everywhere in all facets, and it's really.
But they've been doing this for a few years, though. You got to think Joe Rogan started pandering to the COVID, you know, vaccine crowd and shit back in 2020. So Yeah.
Asked we might be drunk, dumping on his buddies for scheduling the Riyadh Comedy Festival gig, since they're pretty much just stomping on their morals in the face of that mouth-watering Saudi Arabian blood money. And he really goes in on Sam Morril here, since if Sam had a shred of dignity, he would have turned it down, since to Stavros' point, Sam Morril is a Jewish comedian at the end of the day.
Ontario, London, Ontario, and then I'll be Chicago, September 5th, and then September 11th, theater at MSG, and then September 27th, Saudi Arabia with. Oh, you baby, you fucking pieces! You're all fucking pieces of shit. Stone Sam.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Jessica Kirsten's getting it first, right? That's the hell. He's not leaving, I'll tell you that. It's going to be hard to do crowd work with that burqa.
Everyone doing everyone, all the people cleaning your sheets are just Filipino slaves. Yeah. They're doing it too, right?
I am.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
October 8th. I figured the 7th would have been in poor taste, so I'm doing the 8th.
What? Jesus, it takes place on October 7th. You guys are in Riyadh on October 7th.
Realize that. I'm on the 8th. I'm there on the 8th.
Oh my God. What is going on the 7th? You're going to be doing remembrance posts from Saudi Arabia? Yeah, from Saudi Arabian airspace?
Sound here. Hold on.
Distraction real quick. All right, that'll do it for us.
So good on Stavros for calling this whole Riyadh Comedy Festival disaster out there, because everyone who's on that lineup are officially the most soulless, money-hungry comedians alive. Like, they're basically telling their audience that they do just about anything for the right amount of money, which also makes you wonder.
Oh, shit. I don't know whose channel this is on. Oh, it's Eric DeBunks. There you go.
Hey.
Oh,
no, actually, I call my gifted memberships Eric Debunks.
I got some too. I have actual fandom memberships from Low Watermark. Fuck yeah, thanks, man. Oh, and Organized Chaos. All of us.
Hey, thank you. Hey, actually, Low Watermark, we haven't seen you for a bit. Good to see you.
That's based.
Good to see you around, man.
Yes. I hope you're doing well.
Spent some time in like a Guatemalan prison or something like that. He said. He got a tan and then got rounded up by ICE. I think is what happened.
If they would have gone to Germany in the 1940s and performed there if the evil Austrian painter offered them enough bread. Like, it's almost that insane. And also, just on a quick side note, Bill Burr really disappointed me here. I mean, after everything he's done this year, from calling out Elon Musk and the idiot podcasters who platform those guys, I truly thought he was better than this. At least Stavros had the integrity to turn the money down, since he was most definitely offered.
He was offered. So he's unlike Mark Maron. They actually did offer him, and he turned it down. So like, he's the only one that I'm aware of that is the case. There might be others, but that's, he comes out looking pretty shiny compared to all these other fuckers now.
So real quick, I actually found Bill Burr is responding to the hate he's been getting. Essentially, his response seems really fucking milquetoast. It's really kind of pathetic. It was great to experience that part of the world, to be part of the first comedy festival over in Saudi Arabia. The royals loved the show. Everyone was happy. People were doing the festival, were thrilled. Comedians I've been talking to are saying, dude, you can feel the audience wanted it. They want to see real stand-up comedy. It was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experience I've had. I think it's going to lead to a lot of positive things. Just ignoring all the political ramifications of this, and just how pretty vile the Saudi Arabia government is to pretty much every value most Americans hold dear.
I also want to point out, this is my 5-minute, gotta go.
Okay.
Alert.
Do you want to promote anything before you gotta go? Or?
Sub to my channel. Leave a like on the video, and that's pretty much it. And thank you, Low Watermark, again for the gifted memberships.
Well, have you seen this bit when this happened? Because this might be cathartic when to go.
I do want to see it. I do want to see this though. Yeah, for sure.
Comedian on blast after she wouldn't stop talking about the sensitive topics that the Austin comedy scene thrives on. The anti-trans, anti-feminist rhetoric that mothership attendees pump through their veins on any given night there.
Thanks for coming, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, special tomorrow. Take Me With You.
It comes out tomorrow.
Comes out tomorrow on Netflix.
Right now, I'm in Austin.
You're in Austin.
I'm about to do Rogan.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
My friend's ex, not ex, just dude, she was fucking whatever.
Mhm.
He was like, I've to turn me. right?
Okay,
Which is
well,
crazy.
Yeah, he said.
So she-
He said that.
She
He
said
the
the
Southern
T-slur.
guy, which translating to me is
To be clear, what was bleeped there? The T-slur.
Yeah.
drag, in my opinion.
No,
Transvestite.
it's a slur for
Yeah, but it's not
trans person.
transgender.
Yes, it is.
If you transition fully, you're not really anymore.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
stop
Okay,
saying
sorry.
it.
So then,
I've
what do you
also
think about identifying as queer if you're just a hot woman who got a sex change in a relationship with a toxic gym rat? Do you get to say you're queer?
I mean, I think being trans, I mean, we're in a society where I think, unfortunately, society dictates that a little bit. And I think
I'm more queer than that person.
you're not. But I do think if you're trans, you're still queer.
I don't even think she knows.
Yeah, I think that's where I
And I'm
land.
not
You
even an
have-
expert, but
You
what
have
I'm
gotten like Austin trans brain, like you know, it is at the
No,
top of your
because-
head.
no, 'cause I
You
really-
immediately brought it up as soon as the podcast started.
So clearly, Stavros is conscious of the boring play.
Just like, I mean, this is his podcast. This is his
Trans
guest
brain. That's
for the episode.
crazy.
He just fucking blasts her right out of the gate.
That's great shit. I'm gonna have to remember that. I'd be like, you just got trans brain. Like, what the fuck?
Austin trans brain, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could say mothership trans brain or Rogan, kill Tony.
I'm just gonna use
whatever.
Austin for everything because it seems
Mm-hmm.
like that's probably a really good way to just make it.
I've been watching,
to make it stick.
I lived in Austin for a little over 10 years before I moved. And yeah, I've been watching some content about guys that, went out there to thinking that, oh, this is the next, comedy boomtown or whatever. And it is not that. It's just a, right-wing grift.
Well, the
town.
funny thing is, I got a lot of gay friends that live and trans friends that live in Austin, and they don't complain about this shit at all. So it must really just be like this bubble of comedy is where it's at, really.
Well, the thing that, the unfortunate thing I always said about, people be like, oh, well, Austin's a lot more progressive than other parts of Texas. It's like, yeah, of course it is, but it's also still Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you can't fully escape it. So what I think it is that especially in recent years with this culture war grift, that the mothership and Joe Rogan, that whole crowd, they basically just created a hub for those people to flock to amongst otherwise generally progressive, inclusive.
I mean, the crazy thing is, if you think this shit is universal, go to a city where a bunch of trans people live, a bunch of queer people live that's progressive, and use the same bits. Like, talk about the same stuff. And if people don't laugh at it, maybe you're in an echo chamber. Maybe it's all confirmation bias. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think he says some more here.
Doubt anti-woke talking points that Jordan Jensen is hitting on here. And I feel like it's just...
I've never heard of this person before.
It's not hard. You'd wake up and all the women around you would be like, ew, why are you just wearing your regular face today? And you'd be like, because it's my face. And they'd be like, you have to put mush on it and lots of stuff on it. And you'd be like, but it's my face. You have to be...
That's hard.
No,
That's
it's
what
not
I'm saying.
hard. It's stupid.
It
and
is.
it's our fault. Women can stop. Women can stop.
It's
Stop
really
doing
not.
it.
Holy, this is insane. You think it's women's fault?
Yeah, dude, we
that
get
they're
paid
the one-
just as much. We're just as powerful. Cut it out.
All right, you're practicing for Rogan. Very clear. You're gonna do.
No.
You're gonna do a great job on Kill Tony with these talking points.
And he knows that she's not really being her true self here. Like in this
Yeah,
next
like he's
clip,
calling her out. It's so funny.
Jordan Jensen goes on a rant about how she hates women, and it's such a forced act that Stavros literally says to her face that she's very obviously practicing for Rogan. Because according to Stavros, she's actually, deep down, embarrassed of being a hardcore feminist in front of Rogan and Hinchcliffe.
It's up and it's got to stop. And we should, our
Okay.
periods and everything. I think every woman, when they have their period, should have 2 little red blood stripes.
Mm-hmm.
None of this hiding it anymore. No
Okay.
more.
I'm with you on all this stuff.
Feminism is dead.
But what you're talking about is a form of feminism. You're talking about.
Come back.
Okay.
Remember hairy armpits? Now it's unacceptable.
That's feminism.
That's true.
It's okay in Bushwick, but it's not cool.
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
What's that? The Italian lady had, who's hot.
Oh yes. I know who you're talking
Sophia
about.
Loren.
Sophia Loren.
Yeah, she had.
I got no problem with hairy armpits. I'm on
That's
record.
fine.
Yeah,
But it's very rare to see it on like an actual empowered woman. It's
Because of
trans who has, like,
because of toxic masculinity and the patriarchy. That's
He's
the
got
reason why.
He's got a joke in his stand-up special on Netflix, what I recommend anybody should watch, man. But he's got a joke about how, like, he's like, a lot of guys are doing ass stuff nowadays. You know what I mean? He was like, he's like, anybody here been pegged before? He's like, I haven't. He's like, I'm saving myself for marriage. He's like, call me a traditionalist, but I think I should be with the woman I love before I get pegged. Just jokes like that are fucking like, some of the same.
Well, you can make jokes about that stuff, but they have to be sort of referential. You can't like poke at other people like that. Like that's just not the way it works.
Oh gosh, she's just like using all the buzzwords. It's crazy.
This is really interesting because you're actually saying radical feminism with kill Tony vocabulary right now. I'm having a hard time even because we do agree, but you're throwing these like anti-cancel culture buzzwords out.
There's a
even
way to
you're
be...
like it's like how Ian is embarrassed of being gay, so he pretends to be Republican. You're doing this. You're embarrassed to be Republican right now.
I feel like this podcast sort of solidified the fact that Stavros Halkias has never and will never want to be a part of the group of comedians in the so-called Rogan sphere.
Yeah, so apparently the Cumtown podcast was very much a leftist, kind of vibe podcast, just with very edgy kind of, obviously with the name, gross out humor and stuff like that. But yeah, and then you guys have seen Adam Friedland, I'm sure, some clips with him lately, no? He's been interviewing people, but he was one of the other guys that used to host that, and he was kind of he was on Majority Report recently.
Oh shit, guys, they just leaked the Earth 2 Superman image. Yeah.
Oh.
You ready?
Oh.
You ready? Let me blow me up here.
The Nazi? Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. That's good. Wow. Yeah.
I saw that coming.
Crazy, man.
Coming.
Yeah, that's a good one to go out on, Eric.
Yeah, gotta get out of here. Anyway, I don't know if you guys are staying on or not, but if you're watching on my channel, play nice or you're gonna get muted. Sub to my channel, sub to all these guys' channels, leave a like. I'll be live tomorrow night with the Nerdcast. I got a couple videos going up tomorrow. I'm uploading daily clips now on the Reloaded channel. So if you want to see clips of longer streams, that you don't want to watch the whole streams, I'm going to be doing those in clip sessions. So those will be coming out every day now forever, like except for the weekends, but like Monday through Friday, they'll be out. So go check those out. And that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Anyway, good to see you guys. And catch up later.
See you later.
That was fucking good.
So just
being revealed.
Yeah, before we get too far, I found the complete list of all the people who will be at this goddamn festival.
Oh, Jim Jeffries too is another one that I guess I didn't expect a lot from him, but I thought he was a little bit better than that. Maybe.
I mean, fun fact: Pete Davidson did come out in an interview and literally just said he had reservations, but they paid him too much money.
That's what Tim Dillon said, but then he said some other shit that made him cancel him before.
Because he made fun of the slavery in Saudi Arabia, so they
Tim Dillon he literally said at first he was like, "They're paying me a shitload of money to look the other way." That's just like, well, at least you're being honest, bro.
But yeah, so we got Moamir, Aziz Ansari, Wayne Brady, Hannibal Buress, Bill Burr, Jimmy Carr, Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., Whitney Cummings, Pete Davidson, Chris Distenfo. I'm not familiar. Oded Jaleel, Zarnan Garg, Ben Hart, Kevin Hart, Gabriel Iglesias, Jim Jeffries, Jimonin, I don't know, Maz Jabroni, Jessica Kirsten, Joe Coy, Bobby Lee, Sebastian Manscalo. I mean, I don't know a lot of these names. Sam Morrell, Mark Normad, Russell Peters, Jeff Ross, Sugar Sammy, Andrew Santino, Andrew Schultz, Tom Segura, Ellie Seked. Slaughtering these. I kind of don't care. These guys are sold out. Aries Spears, Chris Tucker, Jack Whitehall. I'll be honest, like a lot of Bill Burr's one that disappoints me the most by like a mile. Wayne Brady to a degree as well. Maybe Aziz Ansari a little bit, but Chris Tucker, it doesn't really talk about a lot, but he did, like, according to reports, he did travel around a lot with fucking Bryan Singer and Kevin Spacey when they would
Epstein. He wrote
parties.
Epstein.
Yep. When
hey, what is this? What is that supposed to mean? We got some fine Australian folks in our audience. What is this supposed to mean here?
That is like, yeah, it's like I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's racist exactly, but it's definitely it's anti-Aussie.
So Australians are pro Saudi Arabia. What? But yeah, that is the complete list. Tim Dillon was removed, and then Namish Patel dropped out on ethical grounds.
Yeah, everybody knows that Aussies are all pro Saudi blood money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every single one of you.
But yeah, it just sounds like these guys said, "Oh, there's too much money. I'll do that," and it's like, that's gross. You know that, right? Like,
you know, with Aziz Ansari, it's kind of interesting because have you seen the trailer for his new movie? With Seth Rogen and stuff.
Yes. Are you
movie,
talking about the one with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, that movie.
Yeah,
like,
that
I'm
looks
actually kind of
good.
interested. It does, but like that movie also seems kind of almost engineered to be a good comeback vehicle for Aziz, who's kind of been laying low for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it seems like it's kind of just engineered to make him hey, remember this guy? He's funny, but he's harmless. He's, you know, blah blah blah, whatever. But like, then he does this.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, dude.
It is pretty gross.
I'm sure your bloody check is in the mail, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one thing that, like, that's the reason why certain ones are in particular, especially Bill Burr over any of them, is because he's literally, I think, even spoken against doing Saudi Arabia, like specifically this situation he's talked negatively about in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just,
yeah, it's gross all around.
I mean, I remember liking maybe the first season, but then, you know, I just kind of fell off of watching it. I mean, I was a fan of Aziz from back when I first saw his stand-up back in the day. I thought he was fucking hilarious. But yeah. The movie does look funny. You know, Keanu is like, well, there's one joke that I forget what it is. Oh, mainly just whenever I guess it looks like Keanu, the angel, loses his angelhood because he fucks up. And so he's like working at like washing dishes, it looks like, or something. And the dude comes up to him and he's like, come on. And he's like, man, just leave me alone. I'm just trying. I don't remember.
I mean, Keanu as an angel almost, it reminds me a lot, I guess, of another Seth Rogen movie. It was the Christmas one he did with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie. I don't remember the name of it, but spoiler for a couple-year-old movie.
Christmas? Or Night Before, or whatever it's called.
It was something like that. Yeah, I think it might have been Night Before. And then Michael Shannon is in it, and he's just like this like fucking R-rated foul mouth dude.
Yeah.
And like, spoiler alert for the movie, it's hilarious. It's like the best moment in the movie where it's revealed that he's a fucking angel. I don't know why. It reminds me of that.
Yep. So what else do we have to get on to here? A lot. Oh, Bad Bunny. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to. I just wanted to use that as a jumping off point to say that these guys think that they can just dictate culture, and you know, that's stupid. Actually got an article here from a friend of the show, and often research collector for the show, SJW Captain America.
That's what I would say, yeah.
On Wonkette, and its article is called "Everyone Being Real Normal About Bad Bunny Performing at Super Bowl." Translation. I've been thinking about it these days, and after discussing with my team, I think I'll do just one date in the United States. Okay. Mere minutes after, they announced this. Benny Johnsonovich, also known as Benny Sparkles. This is Bad Bunny. He was just announced as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. Massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist. No songs in English. He even canceled his entire U.S. tour for this reason. Fucking ICE would be outside my concert, and it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about. The NFL is self-destructing year after year. Look at him. I mean, are you jealous, Benny? Is that what this is? You're jealous that this actually straight man, from what I understand, is living out gayer than you're allowing yourself to? Benny Johnson. Oh, Sebastian Gorka. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Cool. Classy.
Cool, man. You guys are like the edgiest fucking 14-year-olds I've ever heard of.
It's edgy humor, man.
Then you got Pasovich here.
Yeah. Totally not Jack Pasovich.
This is who just was picked to lead the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. A dude who's from what I understand, once again straight, and just still totally down with wearing a dress. And that doesn't make him gay. What would make him gay is if he was there was all these rumors of blowing TPUSA aids at CPACs every year, like Benny Johnson has lots of rumors about.
What? Well, I mean, I think it's worth reiterating because this has been said a lot and it's true. So, like, fun fact: the football fans are already going to be sitting down for the Super Bowl. Lots of times, the point for the halftime show is to try to get other eyes on the show. So, like, when they get like the musical act, lots of times their idea is, let's try to get an audience a little bit outside of what we would normally get and just get them on this show. That's the point half the time.
The NFL has been focusing on globalizing, globalists. They've been, they're trying to and have been successfully pulling in market outside of the US. Imagine that. And then here we've got Bad Bunny just straight up fucking calling out our vice president here.
Mm-hmm.
Smoky eyeliner, JD Vance there. And what's interesting is that there's another image of him wearing this exact same thing that for a second I was like, oh, it's just a different picture from the same time. But no, he's got, in the other one, he's wearing the same thing, but he has stubble, like far more stubble, like almost, and it's like, oh, so he did this multiple occasions. He wore this specific outfit. Interesting. JD Vance. Interesting.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's also like, I mean, it's like Steven Crowder. Like I swear he looks for an excuse to dress up in drag all the time. And he says the worst and most terrible things, but then he's finding excuses to dress in drag. And it's like, okay, obviously I assume you enjoy this. So why not just be open instead of just being a disgusting bigot?
Sorry, Benny Johnson is not gay. He blows dudes because he just had such a massive respect for the male masculine form that he just, he doesn't know any other way to show his appreciation.
Oh God, he just can't control himself. But it's not
He's
gay.
like, look how masculine this is. This guy's so alpha.
Oh, I can't help but wrap my mouth around it, but I'm not gay. No.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Yeah. Whether he's gay or not is his, I disagree. I think that once you have become someone who is in an administration that is specifically targeting queer people, if there's any even remotely, legitimate criticisms to point out the hypocrisy, especially whether it's just you've worn dresses on multiple occasions or there's actually reports of you, multiple reports, and people have come out saying that they've had encounters with Benny Johnson. I think it's fair game at that point. Like, you are no longer any other context. I absolutely respect people being in the closet. They don't feel like they're safe to, come out or whatever. But once you start turning that on other people and you're weaponizing your own internalized rage against people who are able to live out, and live their lives with who they are, then yeah, you kind of a piece of shit and you just deserve it.
I mean, plus when it's also clear that you push out Russian propaganda that the Russians pay you for. I don't really give a shit about you. I don't know.
Yep. Let's keep in mind, Benny Johnson is also the podcast that Brendan Carr went on to Godfather style threaten, Disney and ABC.
Classy.
So, yeah, just lots of normal people here being normal.
Well, I don't really have a good segue, but what do we think of the everybody hates Yelena grift that they really are trying to push? Because I just find it fascinating. Because I don't know about you guys, I thought Yelena was fantastic in Thunderbolts, and I think overall, I think she's a great character, and I want to see more. But somehow these guys need to like here's Critical Drinker. Stop trying to make Yelena happen. She's not going to happen. But I almost feel like these grifters are desperate to have an anti-Yelena thing happen. I feel like that's what we're watching here. They're
Yeah,
desperate to generate this anti-Yelena wave, despite the fact that people are enjoying her stuff.
But I mean, also in response, I would say, Critical Drinker, stop trying to make what? Stop trying to make Ryan Drake happen, man.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude. Insert Birdman laugh here.
I mean, I'm trying to remember what's his chosen name. Does he prefer Critical Drinker or Critical Puncher?
Well, I mean, legally we can't call him Kiddical Puncher. We can only say that he was at one point charged with being a Kiddical Puncher.
Okay.
But those charges were not sustained.
Alleged Kiddical Puncher.
If you want to go with my theory, is my headcanon that little boy that he allegedly at one point or was charged with beating up, like hitting several times, an 11-year-old. That little boy said, "I'll drop the charges if you make me your protege, and I'll get on YouTube and make multiple hour videos nitpicking The Last Jedi and all sorts of other things, and I'll bring on my little racist friend from Arkansas." And and so they made that deal, and then you get Mahler.
Ah, it makes sense. It all comes together.
That's my headcanon. So, and that's, and oddly, that's why they're so dedicated to defending him now, because look, if nothing else, they're holding up their end of the deal. They're not only not going to charge him with Kiddical punching that he did to Mahler when he was 11 years old, in my headcanon, they're going to defend the shit out of him anytime somebody rightfully criticizes Kiddical punching.
Makes sense.
Yep, Mahler was that little boy, exactly, in my headcanon.
I mean, Dane's headcanon is pretty much the universe, right?
I think so.
According to your headcanon, yes.
Speaking of, you guys, you ever heard of the Great Replacement theory?
I am familiar.
So there is, there's some truth to it, I hate to say. And it is that Brylan Hollyhand is being pushed as a replacement for Charlie Kirk.
Well, the name just rolls off the tongue.
Right. Teen hailed as Charlie Kirk's protege is ripped by MAGA crowd after private jet video. Country club conservative. Teenage Republican hailed as the protege. MAGA influencer Charlie Kirk received backlash. Brylan Hollyhand, who calls himself the internet's youngest voice of reason, rankled many conservatives online, including those associated with Turning Point USA. Comes after the 19-year-old posted a video of himself traveling to Arkansas to go meet with Rags to begin his one conversation at a time tour. So he's literally just doing the exact same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to point out that this dude was on Fox News literally within the hour after it was announced that Charlie Kirk was dead. And he's all smiles as he's talking about how he was Charlie Kirk's protege and like how he's excited to, get in there and carry out his legacy and stuff. And he's fucking smiling. It's deranged. So, I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it as far.
I'm kind of surprised he doesn't go for like a stage name like Brian McCoy or something like that.
Here he is in his Rolex on a private jet. You know what I mean?
Oh God,
it's actually kind of impressive how much the conservatives managed to make people like this. Whether he makes it or not, as their new star.
They pump millions, and I imagine sometimes even billions of dollars into pushing this stuff, which is why it reaches our so much of our culture so quickly and proliferates and makes this like false image that these ideas are popular, and they're not. But because they're generating this idea that it's popular, they start to become more popular, and suddenly it's a fucking national conversation, and it's pissing me off because it's just another symptom of capitalism destroying the world.
So there's some funny quotes here. Fellow Republican influencer Nick Sauter, briefly co-host of the Charlie Kirk Show, warned against grifters using Turning Point USA's name to push campus tours. What you mean,
we
like
wouldn't want
Turning Point USA?
Using Turning Point USA, would we?
I mean, are they talking about Turning Point USA using Turning Point USA to push campus tours?
Yeah, you don't want the company that's pretty much just designed and meant to grift to become
Ignore the grifters, he added.
grifters.
Ignore the grift. We were ignoring them, and then tragically, one of them was shot in the neck and killed in front of a lot of people, and we had to talk about him suddenly. But like we were doing a pretty good job of ignoring him before that. Look, so here he is, Hollyhand. This is when he was like 11, something like that. So getting groomed early, just like Charlie Kirk was.
Oh, there's Kansas Owens. Fucking gross piece of shit.
Timu Charlie Kirk. We have Charlie Kirk at home. Mom,
it's budget Charlie Kirk, guys. It's
oh God. They just have twinks at their disposal. Yeah, they do. I mean, there's sadly doesn't seem to be a shortage of twinks that are just like, I'm totally ready to talk about how gay people are demonic. As long as they don't talk about me being gay. All right, we shouldn't just go around haphazardly calling these people gay. I shouldn't do that. That's not good.
No, but they're also terrible people who would hate that.
But if there's some evidence pointing to it, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. No, my thing is unrelated. So if you want to wrap up, go for it.
Is what? Sorry.
My thing's kind of unrelated, but if you want to wrap up, go for
it. You are. I don't know if your volume is cutting out or you're whispering there.
No, can you hear me?
I didn't hear that you said my thing is, and then I don't hear you.
I was just saying my thing is kind of unrelated.
Oh, unrelated. Well, let's hear it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just have this pulled up. This is kind of showing that capitalism can work, although it is also fucking destroying us.
I mean, it's the system we exist within. It makes sense to know how to manipulate it to our ends. This is what the grifters have been doing. But what this does show, I'll go ahead and let you set it up.
So the headline, obviously, as you can read, Disney reportedly lost 1.7 million paid subscribers in the week after suspending Jimmy Kimmel. I know people who have actually who canceled just because of that, and they're like, "Oh fuck, now I have to renew so I can watch Marvel Zombies." But yeah, this was an impact. This is way more an impact than any fucking Chud video will ever have. And this is why Jimmy Kimmel came back, frankly.
This just goes to show that the all of the years of effort and coordinated, algorithmic manipulation that these chuds have done, that we've all seen. It's all the reason why many of you are watching us, because you've seen it and got tired of it, right? And it just goes to show that they got nothing. They don't have the influence that they pretend that they do. They have a bunch of people that are siloed in their algorithm, silos that think that they do, because that's all they do is look around and see other people agreeing with them. So they, and they think that's just reality. They don't understand how these algorithms keep them, contained in these silos, these echo chambers. But it just goes to show that they got nothing. Like they had the president put his fucking, fat little tiny thumb on the scale, his bruised hand on the scale. And as well as the FCC, and in the end, even what's the right now the status is that Sinclair has gone back and
Sinclair and Nexstar have gone back.
So even Sinclair, the conservative fuckers, they've gone back on it because they recognize that they were going to lose money. And then Nexstar, I guess, I don't know what their thinking is. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, because they supposedly have a merger in the works that they're going to want approved.
I mean, to my understanding, Disney went to him and essentially said, if you don't host Kimmel, then you can't host anything, essentially.
Damn.
Which is frankly what they should have done to begin with. It's like, yeah, you can take off Kimmel, that's fine. You can't get anything else though.
Now, on the one hand, so we obviously are in this situation. We're glad that Disney went out. We are not, despite what accusations say, and despite the ironic name of this podcast, we're not shills for Disney.
I'm also strongly against Disney for pulling them to begin with.
True. And also, in any other context, and I mean, really, in this context, it's kind of concerning. I mean, like, I'm glad, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of concerning that Disney has the power to fucking win out over the government. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just goes to show the oligarchy we exist within, that corporate, interests are the most important thing to society. But yeah, it's concerning. We if we can make it through this little bout of fascism we got going on, we really ought to think about, the problems of at the very least unregulated corporate power, or barely regulated. You know what I mean? And in the long run, maybe capitalism sucks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Chris. I'm glad to help out in whatever way I can, because it was so weird just stumbling into these chuds. I want to say it was early 2022 when I started stumbling into them, and I was just like, "Fuck!" Like, this stuff's getting really popular. It's only gone more popular, though it's plateaued since then. But like, it was frustrating how popular a lot of these narratives were, and that people dipshits just popping up in my comments saying the dumbest shit about like fucking women in Marvel and shit. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? No.
Friday night, on my live AF, I had Bob of the Old Ways on, and then right at the end, we stayed on for a little while after he came on. Eric DeBunks showed up, and we were talking about how your comment section is the most horrifying one of all of ours, because of the fact that you had like years of just being a kind of neutral seeming content creator, until you suddenly realize that, oh wait, there's this weird element of grifting, gross chuddery going on. But yeah,
and me going, hey, I don't want any part of that, and fucking outrage.
And they keep coming around, and they keep giving you engagement, and God bless them.
Yeah, I do have a lot of them blocked at this point, but yeah, also bless them, giving me dislikes. Man, those dislikes and negative comments, they really hurt the algorithm, by the way.
Yeah, these types of thought terminating cliches have pissed me off for a long time, right? Like, it's just, you're a shill because you like one thing from some company that happens to be from whatever company. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's yeah, you could say I'm a Marvel shill. I want Marvel to do well, but because I've liked the characters and stories that Marvel has produced, you could take it and sell all the, I hope it doesn't happen, but they could sell these characters to some other company, and I would follow those characters most likely, unless the company was just kind of a unethical one.
I've been kind of open about this. So I am happy that Marvel got the X-Men and the Fantastic Four back with the Fox merger. I'm happy about that. But if I had any say, I wouldn't have allowed that merger to happen, because it gave Disney way too much power. Now more and more of those fucking mergers are happening, and I am just against it.
I have a video here. I just want to, it's a quick one, but so this is what, let me go back and show this again. The clip from Battlestar Galactica that I showed earlier. It's very relevant. And then I want to show another one. Well, not you. It's not trying to get rid of you. I'm trying to get rid of this. All right.
You have the only armed, disciplined force available.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be your policeman. There's a reason why you separate military and the police. One fights the enemy, the state. The other serves and protects the people. When the military becomes both, then the enemies of the state tend to become the people.
And with that in mind, I present ICE and federal troops, I guess, National Guard in DC, standing around looking for something to do. Suddenly, they spot a brown guy on a bike. Tax dollars at work, folks.
ICE, okay, I've said this before, I'll say it again. ICE shouldn't exist. ICE is ridiculous. We have customs enforcement. We don't need fucking ICE. We know.
So fucking funny, man. Like this. I know.
So which one of these is Dean Cain?
This guy's a fucking hero. Like, that guy is amazing. He's looking back like, fuck you. Yeah. I mean, yes.
Dean Cain's like, man, these people are fast. These people.
That's been the case for some time, and then it officially, in my mind, it became official whenever they passed that what, $800 billion fucking funding for it. That became clear that that's what Trump's intentions are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hammers in search of nails. That's an excellent analogy.
By the way, did everybody catch the picture, the leaked image of the Earth 2 Superman from Peacemaker that Eric showed us?
I mean,
spoiler alert for Peacemaker if you haven't seen this. But yeah, so this is a leaked image. Oh, good. I was actually thinking of you. I felt like you didn't react, so you must have missed it. Here we go. Spoiler.
Oh, you already got it.
So good. So good.
So I do think it's hilarious. So he was supposed to be at Cincinnati Comic Expo this year because they got a whole bunch of Superman cast this year. It seems like obviously they're focusing on it. And then like I saw in their comment section when he was announced, so many people were just like, the fuck? Like, no, I do not want him here. No, this is no. There was a couple people who are like, man, I kind of want him to be there just to see how little his line is. But lots of people are just like, I do not want him there. And then suddenly he gets he's filming a movie and he can't show up. It's like, yeah, okay.
So yeah, apparently he hurt himself, and I don't know if that happened while he was with ICE or what, but it seemed like he maybe isn't with ICE anymore. Maybe the training was a little too hard for him, something like that. I do want to show, in case you missed the Fapcast on Sunday, it was all about how at that point Trump was considering sending feds into Portland. It seems like that is happening now. So I just want to show you, he said war ravaged Portland, and then you got to protect the ICE facilities. For one, there's one ICE facility in Portland, and content warning. This is harrowing stuff here. This is from Saturday.
Shit.
This is the ICE facility. This was Saturday. Clearly under siege by ghosts. Phantoms.
How can you maintain like you're streaming, Dane, but like how can you maintain such calm when this madness is happening in your hometown?
Look, this black car drives by in a second. It looks kind of suspicious. I see why they would want to send in the troops after you see this car. Look at it. It's going pretty slow. I don't know, man.
That's like a fucking jump scare. Fuck.
Stopping at a stop sign is pretty suspicious. Oh, that was kind of a rolling stop. Somebody needs to get him.
Oh, fuck.
And it got so bad as war ravaged Portland. Was that actually the dogs of war were let loose.
You're so crazy. So crazy.
Oh God, that's a nightmare for me right now.
So crazy.
Yeah. Hounds of Hell. It's actually one of our corgis. It's a cinnamon bun.
Aww.
we got 2 corgis. They're pretty great. Here they are.
Are you sniffing out those ICE agents?
Vicious. These are Antifa attack dogs.
Oh yeah, I mean they look vicious because Antifa is a real organization that will just tear people apart.
Real organized. Yeah. Cinnamon bun. Yeah, I call him Cinnamon Bunch or Cinnamon Butt. I basically try to avoid just calling him his actual name. I don't know why, but I'm like Cinnamon Butt. And then Piper is the other one. Don't even get me started on Gordy. We're not even gonna talk about those.
Gordy's a madman.
But in the spirit of those dogs, some images were shared that I thought were pretty funny. This one. Pretty fun stuff. And Nazi dance.
I feel like there's kind of an overreaction to the dance. It's a silly dance.
I mean, I do think that probably is meant to indicate, you know, what
to a degree. Well, I mean, elements, yes, but like most of it, no. Most
just that first move.
I can see that.
But I mean, when you know what the season is about, it was basically all it was is a teaser, like a kind of hint toward where the season was going to go.
I mean, no matter even if the season ends up being disappointing, I don't think it's going to be pro-Nazi.
No, I don't. I mean, literally, James
Not
Gunn was
remotely.
famously canceled by Nazis.
Yes.
But you know, one thing that another thing that maybe this is a dance move that's hidden. I'm not sure. And then after this, I'm going to be getting ready to head out of here. But this is kind of concerning, and that's I think I saw this dance move in there.
Was
so
that
maybe
after they released the Epstein files?
I believe that they're indicating that next season they're going to release the Epstein files. Maybe
that'd be.
I don't
epic.
know. You know, it's an enigma, and as we know, according to two rich pedophiles, enigmas never age.
I mean, this is not only is this gross, it's just beyond childish. It's like
it is. Jay Aubrey has a new video out. I don't know if you've ever watched his channel, but he's got some good content usually. Jay Aubrey does some deep dives on different topics, and he has a couple recently on the Epstein thing. The most recent one being the connection between Trump and Epstein. And I I already knew a lot of it, but there's a lot more that I wasn't aware of as far as the connections between these guys.
Damn.
So I recommend that video if you get an hour to, you know. It's just the letter J and then Aubrey, actually both lowercase on his YouTube channel. Aubrey. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Awesome.
What do you got going on, Bobberino? You got some comics you're going to talk about this week?
I actually did that last night. So tomorrow, because it got delayed, we're doing the podcast tomorrow at 6:00. We're going to be talking about Alien Earth. We're going to be talking about Marvel Zombies, and we're going to be talking about Daddy Daughter Trip as we dive into the Rob Schneider verse. I still haven't seen it yet. I still need to sit down and fucking watch that thing. I'm sure it's going to be fucking awful, but maybe it will surprise me. It won't. But got that going on. I have my Jester Bell video almost edited. I'll get that out probably Friday, and I need to figure out what other video I'm releasing this week. But yeah, that's on the agenda. And I do need to rewatch Man of Steel and Superman, and maybe do a video about the two of those and looking at them in comparison. Could be fun. Not that I've ever done anything like that.
Well, let's I mean, yeah, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah.
You know, try it out.
What are you up to, Dane?
Not a lot, man. I might be I'm considering kind of changing up how I do things. I've been kind of considering this for a while, but I'm thinking that I'm going to start doing instead of maybe like every Friday doing a stream, I might start turning that into a research stream. Where instead of, you know, planning to have a full show of things that I talk about and stuff, just more like a loose kind of hangout thing, maybe just members only chat. Where I research whatever it is I'm thinking about working on, because I really do have ideas for videos that I just haven't done, and they, you know, keep getting backlogged, and plenty of them are probably never going to get done. But, you know, there's stuff I want to do, and it seems like I need to take one of these streams I do a week and turn it into something productive toward that end. So
sounds awesome.
And yeah, I just now started watching started watching Alien Earth. I'm enjoying it for the most part. Oh yeah, Jane Goodall did pass away.
Oh
sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Like, we need so many more people like Jane Goodall on the planet. Because yeah, that's like peak human endeavor is the kind of stuff she did, right? Yeah. You know, wasn't that movie Sigourney Weaver? Didn't she play her in Gorillas in the Mist?
Yes.
Check that out. See, I don't know if I ever watched it all the way.
Another movie by that same filmmaker that nobody talks about, that I talked about last week on the podcast, Thunderheart, starring two people who have passed away this year, Val Kilmer and Graham Greene. Absolutely worth checking out.
Okay. One movie that I don't know if it's ever going to come out, like it's kind of been in development hell for a long time. I'm really hoping it finally sees the light of day, is the Epstein Files.
Yeah, Epstein Files. That's the best movie. I'm really hoping.
Good times.
I will say we'll get into it tomorrow, but Alien Earth, overall good, but yeah, the ending was like that's not quite what I was hoping for.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and it's kind of disappointing, but we'll see. I will see, and obviously my opinion is objective. So if I like it, that means everybody must agree with me or they're wrong.
I will give you a warning. Do not expect concrete conclusions.
Yeah, kind of didn't. I figured it was going to be something that would lead to more seasons of show.
Well,
that was Diane Fossey. That wasn't a. Oh, okay. Damn. Thank you for correcting me on that. I, for some reason, thought it was a good all. Okay. Mandatory Picard season 3. Hate deployed. All right. Episode 5. Look, all I know is that episode 2 ended with goddamn Tool song.
True. That's a great
you earn
song.
quite a bit of favor with me when you do that. And Tool is not known to just kind of lend their music out willy-nilly. So the fact that they deemed that one appropriate, or that's a stamp of approval from one of my favorite artists. So I do one thing I'll say, I love the fucking design of the xenomorphs in this. It's the best they've ever looked, I think. Like just the costume, the performer that's in the costume, I guess is what it is. They might be enhancing it with some effects. What's up?
I'm sorry, just my mind was just blown. I could have sworn Gorillas in the Mist was about fucking Jane Goodall.
Me too.
I am just like, fuck, no. What?
I think I've even had conversations with people who also thought that, and just nobody realized that we were wrong.
It's like a Mandela effect thing. It's got to be. I mean,
yep.
It's yeah.
On that note, yeah. I don't know. I'll show a little bit more of this this Grifters Exposed video on the way out the door. Subscribe to all the channels.
They're all live tomorrow. Party on and be excellent to each other.
Show up to organize Bob tomorrow, and show up to whatever I'm going to do on Friday, and have a good time and be excellent to one another and all that. Here's this one more time.
Get him. Watch out.
Stop him. He's armed with a bike.
We got him. Oh, we can get him. Oh.
Damn, he's fast. Who knew bikes were fast?
Maybe I do need to go on a diet. Yeah. All right. Later.
ICE is only hiring the best.
So it's Star Trek, but the big difference is the original series was taking itself and its stories seriously. Even the light-hearted ones never deliberately descended into outright farce and self-reverential comedy.
Hardcore, Fenton Mud, what have you been up to?
But Strange New Worlds doesn't take itself seriously because it doesn't take the original seriously. The original series was taking itself and its stories seriously.